Nothing beats that. Oh, nothing beats that question for Doug Williams. How long have you been a black quarterback? That was my favorite.
No.
From the Super Bowl. Oh yeah.
No.
What was his answer to that again?
He just ignored him and moved on to the next question.
When did that happen?
1987, 88, something like that, with the Skins in the Super Bowl.
How many does Lukaku need to catch Kane? 2, right?
Two,
yeah.
He's got 4
Kane's
goals.
6.
He's got 1 assist. So technically, he would have the tiebreaker unless something changes.
I read an ESPN article this morning. They were bashing Kane. Well, not bad, but they were saying Kane and Lukaku didn't step up when their team needed the most in these last 2 games, both of them. But I mean, doesn't De Bruyne get a little bit for not scoring too? It wasn't just Lukaku.
I thought De Bruyne was the biggest disappointment for me in that game against France. He was just
so bad.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he made significantly.
Just vanished completely. His service was gone. I mean, I thought you saw Lukaku try to come into the play and start something, but De Bruyne just had his worst game I think I've ever seen him play.
Yeah,
it was pretty bad. It was pretty rough.
He was almost like he wasn't on the pitch. That's what was so shocking as you were watching it. You're just like, what's the point?
That's kind of how, honestly, for me, the whole we were here watching it. The whole team looked that way. I mean, and I think that was just the 1-0 scoreline was just more of a testament to both defenses doing their jobs well. Obviously, other than France getting their goal, there were some great saves on both sides from Lloris and Courtois, but Lukaku was invisible, man. I was so disappointed with Belgium. Played so bad. So bad.
I'd bigged up Lukaku before the game. I'm like, all right, now is his time. Like, this is it. Like, if someone's going to finish, it's got to be him.
Hazard had some nice dribbles, but he didn't really create much past that. Yeah. He had some nice runs.
He started to be a little bit selfish, too. Like, he'd beat a man, but then first thing he looked for was his own shot when it was like, it wasn't on, Like, it was a high degree of difficulty, and he would just try and rip it instead of setting someone else up. Interesting to see him linked with Real Madrid. Now,
150, I thought.
That's what I'm something around there. Which
for Lukaku?
Hazard. Which I feel like.
Oh, that's right.
It's almost a little bit disappointing when you're talking about Mbappe and Neymar, and then you're like, well, we'll get Hazard. Great player, but now he's 27 and maybe lost a little of the luster. I don't know.
He's the kind of guy that's more of like a stopgap than anything. He's not a true Galactico.
Yeah.
I mean, he's never going to have that full
Yeah.
experience.
You think this maybe just buys you 2 years until the next big thing is available?
Until
or?
the next big thing comes. I mean, even Kane's been linked with them several times as well. I mean, I'd actually probably go for Kane over Hazard.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though we just ripped on Lukaku, Kane's kind of been invisible the last 2 games as well. Or, hitting it into the goalkeeper post, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I saw a great reverse angle of that save.
It was a great save.
It was a huge save. I mean, that's the problem with the striker, right? You're going to be up top, you're going to get the glory, but you're going to get killed if it doesn't go your way. I mean, that's just the way this works.
Especially when you had Raheem Sterling sitting there just wide open that he could have easily passed it, The angle was so much more tighter from where he was at than where Sterling was at. But that's the thing of a striker. They always think they can score at any moment, so you have to deal with that.
I don't feel bad for them. They get paid the big bucks. They get the goal celebration. So
they're human beings too,
No.
Don't use the money thing.
Yeah, they're human beings. Goalkeepers aren't though. They're insane.
They're insane.
A goal for Sterling would be kind of nice, a little bit. Just something to answer. A little bit of criticism. I know it's third place game, but. When people look back and they'll look at the stats, someone will dig up and say he didn't score at the World Cup. But if he scores one in a third place match,
Jesus.
Oh wow! Deflection.
How do you?
So harmless.
I think one of the things that Belgium disappointed me with, or at least Martinez, is he brought in Mertens way too late against France.
Yeah, you need to bring him early.
Much earlier, and you can see as soon as Mertens came on, he started attacking constantly and was getting crosses in, and it was a different game. And I think he waited way too long to bring him in.
Also,
even Batshuayi, I think he was afraid to take Lukaku off.
Yeah.
With obviously either how bad Lukaku was playing or how good France's defense was locking him down. You'd think
it wasn't working.
I think a little earlier than that, hey, maybe we should take Lukaku out and put Batshuayi in. Try something different.
Yeah, and with Mertens too, I was thinking about like everyone remembers that first goal he scored and was the opening match where, and you know that your opponent they remember the great goals that are scored this tournament, so they would be thinking about that. That puts them under a little pressure where, when a player's got that or has done that already in this tournament, you have to be a little bit careful. So you're really thinking about defending him, or you make you a little bit nervous. You got to respect his ability. So it was a little too late.
Belgium certainly looks up for it.
Yeah, they look much better.
It's all Belgium right now.
Oof. No? Should have dove on that. Joseph Eric says, "Hey Outlaw, thoughts on Croatia fairy tale in Russia?"
Is it? Yeah, incredible. That team, I thought they were out so many different times, but they've also benefited from some coaches losing the plot in the middle of matches, and certainly Southgate, all of a sudden sitting back when he hadn't done that the whole tournament, helped Croatia make the comeback. So but. You gotta win the games in front of you, and they did that, so they deserve all the credit. They don't feel like a fairy tale team to me. Luka Modric does not make them a fairy tale team, so but it's an incredible run, that's for sure.
In terms of ability,
that's what I mean.
They've got all the talent. I know.
England would have been more the fairy tale, in my opinion.
Than Croatia?
In my opinion, yeah, because no one expected that, whereas Croatia had. Everyone expected Croatia was going to do like a decent job.
I feel like it's a little more. I agree with the fairy tale aspect in terms of it's less like prodigal son. It's more of like a redemption tour for England that they've been waiting for. I think Croatia is a little more surprising in terms of no one really expects to see them playing in a World Cup final. But I mean, you look, they've got a Barcelona player, a Real Madrid player.
That's what I mean. That to me gives them a little more, like if these were people playing like Sampdoria or some shit like that, then maybe I would say, okay.
Leicester City.
Yeah, Leicester.
So for you, fairy tale would have been Panama.
Colombia would have been a great fairy tale. Panama.
Really?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, something like that, because no one expected Colombia to do what they were doing, and then eventually they got as close as they did, which I thought was incredible.
even with
Japan would have been the big fairy tale.
Players, would some of them play? Even you wouldn't.
Not with Colombia, no, because the overall team itself didn't gel as powerfully overall, and were with how they qualified out of CONMEBOL. I think it was almost default than what we say, than aggression to qualify. Because Argentina losing the plot constantly, like that was always the thing.
Croatia had a tough route in qualifying too, didn't they?
That's what I mean.
They almost missed their tournament.
They were tested.
Yeah. They had to send a guy home after the first game.
How do you think he feels right now? How do you think Kalinic feels?
He's become a meme.
He's not even. I don't even think he's that good. Like he's not.
He was a sub for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. It's like who are you to question that, right? Yeah. Especially when your team won. It wasn't like, what an idiot. Does he still get a World Cup medal?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so.
Well,
because he's officially deferred from the team.
But FIFA still lists him on the substitute bench, even though he's physically not even there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe he would then.
I don't know. I think it always depends on the team, doesn't it, or the federation?
They can decide. They get X amount of.
Like if the Cavaliers had won the title this year, would they have given Isaiah Thomas a ring? I don't know. I wouldn't have. But it's certainly possible.
Joseph says Kalinic will still get a medal. Grimash says, I think France will win. Croatian played one more game extra times. Yeah, but they were still running.
I said that 2 games ago. Like at this point, I mean, I kind of want to see them win. So naturally, I'm picking France because I picked against Croatia literally in every single fucking game they played this tournament, against Nigeria, Argentina, Iceland, Denmark. I mean, I don't know how I cannot pick them to win.
The donkey touch. What was that?
Bad first touch. God, the Heskey comparisons for me are really just.
Come on, he's a little better than Heskey.
No, I mean size.
So that is insane.
Size.
I mean.
I don't mean ability, obviously, but I mean size. And the beard, it's all there.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to see Heskey getting half as good a service, though, as Lukaku's got around him, both in Belgium and Man United. Although he's great for...
Where is Heskey now? Is he still playing?
He's retired.
He's in the USL, somewhere with Drogba?
Probably plays for some Birmingham City.
Pittsburgh versus Minneapolis, right here.
He's in one of those teams up there now that's recently come back. Who's Galaxy been playing lately?
In terms of teams?
Yeah.
Or just,
yeah.
They have a game this week against New England.
Is that MLS or is it
MLS,
still?
Yeah.
Open Cup.
No, they lost Open Cup. He's
Oh,
still
they
with
did?
Aston Villa.
What?
What?
Wait,
Heskey is?
No. It was famous for Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
Not well.
He's still known for that.
Not well. No. He hasn't
What
played
year
since
is it,
2016.
That was the top trend on Twitter this morning. It was remember 2015. Like,
Why?
What?
yeah. I don't know. It was that long ago, but
2015. Yeah.
hey,
Also, what happened in 2015? That's
Yeah.
So
what was
memorable? No Mbappe.
Oh,
there you
nice,
go.
nice. Do something.
Oh no, that's
Theme of the
that's
tournament,
only
doing too
playing
much.
into it. Yeah.
Swallowed up in there, man.
That's why he'll never be an incredible player. He dances on the ball way too damn much. Way too damn much.
I thought
Valderrama would do that, but he would always find what to do with the ball.
it's different when you're a little more of a deeper playmaker. Like, we know Sterling has the pace.
That's fair.
Like, if he made up his mind and knew what he was doing to
Right.
just, like he did for that goal for Liverpool against Man City, where he danced a little
was beautiful.
and then cut inside and you know what I mean. That was purposeful. This is just like no invention.
I think his height also is at times a detriment.
You say his hype or height?
Height, yeah, because he can't see over these like larger defenders sometimes. I think, especially there, all four of them got around him. Where's he going to go? Oh, come on!
That's wrong.
I mean, speaking of height, I mean now Liverpool have Shaqiri on the team.
Yeah, right.
I don't
I
understand
don't
his
think he could've gotten
dimensions. How is he
smaller.
What he
even?
doesn't have in height, he makes up for in width.
He's like a carrot.
I missed this
Is
whole
he a
thing.
carrot?
Yeah, he's
I
like
missed
a
this
big-
whole
He's
thing.
like a carrot, you know.
Yeah, he's like a baby fenster. He's just like
I think that was a bad move on Liverpool.
yeah,
Seriously?
yeah.
It was cheap.
I don't think he's that good of a player.
We got him for
See how much
13
he's
million,
going
which,
for?
considering now
That's
you
depth.
can't get a player that cheap, is
Yeah, that's depth.
He's got talent. I mean,
He'll be
he's-
FA Cup. He'll play
yeah,
the FA Cup
he's-
games.
he's got a left
He's
foot.
technically very solid. I
Yeah.
mean,
Technically, he's all around solid.
yeah.
He's
I mean,
solid,
he's very solid.
sturdy
He's
lad.
a-
He's a block, but still.
It looks like a thumb.
And I think it's one thing under Klopp, I've learned to hold my judgment until after we see players play under Klopp.
Yeah,
You just never know.
I thought what's his
never know what he can
Oxlade
do
Chamberlain.
with
I
it.
thought that was a sideways move, but he actually looked pretty good. You know,
Hey,
so
Klopp brings it out in people, man. Don't underestimate the Jurgen effect.
yeah.
and you know what's shocking is he's only 26 because I feel like we've known about him
Yeah,
for
he's
about
like
12
37
years.
years
He's
old.
only 26
Yeah,
years old.
yeah.
Wow.
Because I remember at Basel, whatever you want to call it, it might be an herb or a city. Like there was talk about like where he's going to go.
Yeah.
Liverpool were linked with him then. Then he goes to Bayern, and then Inter, and then he's been at Stoke a couple years.
Stoke, yeah.
So it seems like he's like 32, but he's only 26.
And it seems like he's going down from
Yeah,
the
the
clubs.
trajectory
you know,
is not exactly where you want.
What
Yeah.
someone told me was that before the Liverpool move, they said if you looked at Shaqiri's career backwards, it's fairy tale stuff. Starts at Stoke, then goes to Inter, gets a big move to Bayern, and finally ends up at Basel to retire at his hometown club. Like,
That's great.
No, I did the same thing for Giovanni Dos Santos.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh.
even more
Oh,
sad.
yeah.
oh no.
Because he ends his career with a World Cup win over Brazil.
What did you watch a lot of Gio when he was at Tottenham?
Yeah.
Not that there was a lot to see,
Yeah,
but
I mean, he's a player that has qualities. I mean, he's technically good. He can play on both feet. He's not a defender, obviously.
things to be said about
Yeah,
Gio Dos
I
Santos.
mean, he really turned his career around when he was with Villarreal. That really was a good move for him. Now I think it's just with players like that. I think it's a lot about confidence. It's a lot about how they see the game, what their environs are like, and you know what the coaching staff is like. And he's gone through a Galaxy team that's had 3 different coaches in his tenure. So I mean, that's always going to be tough when you're a skilled player.
How's his English?
Really good.
He's good?
He speaks
Fluently?
fluent English. Yeah.
I'll always remember him for that goal he scored in the World Cup, a
US.
Gold Cup against the U.S.
That is
This
probably
is one of the greatest goals I've ever seen.
yes. I'd say that's the best goal. One of the greatest goals, best goal I've ever seen live.
Yeah,
You were at
live.
that game?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was covering that game for Associated Press, and I remember as he's moving, all of the reporters who were covering the U.S. national team all started going, "Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!" Like they had just seen it from from the corner flag, from when Chicharito is with Bocanegra. And like, you didn't know anything would happen then. Like, oh no. And this guy sitting next to me just starts screaming, ah! And then this huge cheer. I'll never forget it. It was just magical.
Well, I guess that's better than having apathetic soccer writers. So
Yeah, that's true.
I'd rather have them be more
Normally,
passionate.
you have the same type of people who are like, don't cheer in the press box.
Yeah,
They're
of course.
just losing their mind that he scored this goal.
But then everybody becomes human. They're just like watching.
Don't cheer in the
something
press
beautiful.
box. That's the thing.
Don't cheer
Oh
in the
yeah.
press box.
Oh yeah.
That
That's
sounds
huge.
horrible.
It's like a total like American convention where you don't show your rooting interest for something. It's like very.
You're supposed to be unbiased the whole time.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Do you always observe that rule?
Not when Zlatan scored against LA.
Yeah.
I definitely did not observe that.
Oh,
let's see
do
Sterling.
something
There
passive.
it is.
Hit
There
it.
you go.
Oh, Kane. That was better from Sterling,
First
though.
chance. First chance.
Good control. Made a nice
Did he
little
slip there? Little John Terry
A
slip.
little slip.
like that. There you go. Set him up. It's a better run from Kane.
Yeah, he totally
Yeah.
slipped. God damn it.
Can you imagine Harry Kane in a Madrid jersey? I just can't picture it.
Nope.
I mean, Steve McManaman played there.
Yeah.
I mean,
He scuffed it.
He was a little
Yeah.
hit into the ground.
McManaman could create. Kane's.
yeah.
I mean, look, if Benzema works for them, then Kane could work. Getting a lot of comments in
Benzema should be
YouTube.
for Liverpool.
More people talking about Croatia, the love in Croatia. Mandzukic showed up when Lewandowski didn't. What do you guys think of Mandzukic's tournament? You been impressed? About what you expect?
He was able to stand after taking that knock that he did. And
Yeah.
Pickford stood over him saying, "You're not going to beat me." He clearly remembered that. I was like, that makes, I think, his goal one of the great disses in soccer recent history. The fact that Pickford was like all over him, getting in his face, telling him to get up, calling him everything.
Yeah.
And then he scores the dagger like that. I mean, that has to feel pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Mandzukic just had a pretty solid tournament. What can you say? I mean, it's been effective, and that's what you want from your strikers. Belgium.
I think a lot of guys in Croatia played almost to the best of their ability. Like Vida and Lovren, I think that's as good as it gets from them, right?
Lovren's
Like
having
they've
a
done
tournament.
just
So
enough.
solid.
They've done just enough. Like
I mean,
Versalco's been good.
Of all the Liverpool
Rakitic maybe
players-
is the only one who's underperforming.
Yeah, he hasn't
I
been
guess.
as great.
He hasn't had his moment yet.
Even the young kid at Real Madrid who comes on sometimes has not had a great
Kovacic.
tournament. Kovacic, yeah, he's
Yeah.
not had a great tournament.
I mean, he can't even force him a starting spot
That's
right
what I'm
now.
saying, yeah. And he's a good talent. He's a young,
He's not
good
bad.
player.
It's
But
a good option to have up the
Well,
bench.
that's why I
Yeah.
don't think it's a fairy tale. They have these strong,
Great
powerful players on that team.
I had a big debate with somebody about this. Would Croatia be in the final if they were not in their side of the bracket, right?
Oh, would have.
Like
yeah.
if they had to
If
take
they had to
a
go
route.
through the left side instead of the right side, where England was as well, would they be? Would we be talking about them right now in the final, right? If they had to play through a Belgium, a Brazil, France, I don't know. Like,
Maybe, but
Who knows, man?
Hey,
You saw what
they won their
did to
group.
Argentina. I mean,
yeah,
they
but that was an underwhelming Argentina.
Yeah.
at the same
who
time.
knows? Yeah, I'll have no idea if Argentina is good or not. Like
Yeah.
I'll go to my grave not knowing if that team is actually good.
I'll tell you they're not. And that way you can go to peace. You
I
can go
like
to
having you
peace.
around, John.
I mean,
Keep me
they-
informed
they-
here.
Shaq.
Thank you. All right. Well, Gramash asks, guys, who disappointed you the most? Ronaldo, Messi, or the entire German team?
The entire German team.
Yeah. Messi does not carry this thing. Neither does Ronaldo. But
Yeah, I don't
absolutely
blame
the
them
German team.
individually.
Yeah.
Look, if they got completely shut out, I don't understand. But Messi scored a great goal. Ronaldo scored a couple of goals. It's like we've seen. It's a team game now.
Ronaldo and Messi both did everything they possibly could to try to will their teams forward. I mean, Ronaldo had a chance, in the last several seconds of that game against Uruguay. I mean,
Yeah.
he came this close to leading his team to victory. And I think I really liked that team. I thought if they had gotten by Uruguay, they could have done something because they would have been in France's head a little bit. But, I mean, Germany was just awful. I mean, they needed that Toni Kroos goal to save them against Sweden.
Yeah.
If that's what you need just to stay alive, it's like
I was really happy because I was telling everybody Sweden is going to play this German team hard. They're going to be very defensive. And then look at this. They become this close.
The Oracle had spoken.
I know.
they should have had a penalty. I
Yeah.
still don't know how that wasn't a penalty earlier. Van Sensei says he'd bet money on Croatia to win if he had any.
No
and
way,
he also says U.S. needs to qualify in 2022, so people will watch the World Cup in the middle of the NFL season. That's going to be pretty interesting.
Oh, that's right.
November, yeah, because it's right November to December.
It's confirmed, right?
Yeah, November like 8th or something.
Confirmed until they change their mind,
Yeah.
right?
Until they change their mind and move the tournament to Tahiti or some shit.
Yeah.
I would like that actually.
Yeah, I could get behind that. Yeah.
Tahiti.
Why would you guys wish
Bora-
on
the
Tahiti,
Bora-
man?
Bora-
It'd just be all in the
World
same
Cup.
stadium over
Yeah.
and over. They'd only have the one stadium.
You ever see those like crazy stadiums on Instagram where it's like, I don't know if it's like Iceland or something, but it's like
Yeah.
there's a field here. Like, why don't we let's play all our games there? Like that's where we should be playing. Let's go to that one.
It only seats like 12, but
Yeah.
still.
Hey, that's the entire
You can't
Qatari
really
fan
drop,
base
you can't really
for.
drop 5 in the back.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, it looks really pretty from the air.
By the way, this week I interviewed Pedro Pascal on Tuesday for Equalizer 2, and right at the end, because they gave me 8 minutes, I asked him about the World Cup, and I was in Spanish.
He's
and I was
Peruvian,
like,
right?
He's Chilean.
He's Chilean,
And
that's
I
right, that's
said,
right.
like, have you watched? We don't all look alike. I'm just saying. I'm just, but I said, did you watch? No, I'm Bolivian. But he watched the World Cup, and he goes, what did he say? He goes, I go, have you been? He goes, Chile didn't qualify. All this in Spanish. Chile didn't qualify. Colombia's out. They're all out. And I said, well, Argentina did all. And he goes, who cares about Argentina? And I was like, oh shit, because there's a thing between Chile and Argentina.
Yeah.
It's out. There's a huge thing for like generations, centuries.
Is it just
historical thing?
Is it just Chile and Argentina? Or from what I understood, Argentina as a whole is not really liked by the South Americans.
They've got some beef with people.
Well,
I think.
because they're the best-looking nation in the continent. That's their,
That's
and
it.
their women are beautiful. So it's just
And
like
this is
it's all
coming from a
around.
Bolivian,
Yeah,
so
I
I always
guess.
heard that they identify themselves more as European than they do as South American.
Could be more Spanish influence, maybe.
As
the whitest,
Italian?
It's the whitest country in
Yeah.
Latin America.
My dad lived there for 17 years, which is why when I speak Spanish, I have that Argentinian accent as opposed to the Bolivian accent. But he said, and then he kind of took it back. He goes, no, I was just kidding. I was just kidding. He was just kidding. Don't kill me. It was really funny. Yeah.
No, that's true. I mean, I tried this tournament. I made an active thing to support Latin American nations.
Mm-hmm.
Every time Argentina would play, I was just like, man, what am I doing? I hate this team so much. I just want them to lose. Like, I'm even more upset at them now for losing.
Yeah.
Like what the hell? The one time I cheer for you.
I every time I did see their disarray, I kind of thought like, what would Chile do? Like, like I feel like they would maybe grind out, find a way to at least get out.
Good call. Yeah, that's a thing.
I mean,
They have an arrogance to
Sampoli is better with a team that has a certain organization to it. And that's what he got out of those Chilean teams. That's what he got when he was coaching in club. I mean, with Argentina, you've got Messi, and he somehow turns all of these world-class players into dumpster fires.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it works.
So
I don't know how you manage.
Is that your? Do you think Messi is?
You're saying
A
San
reason
Pauli or
for
Messi
Pauli or
tournament?
Messi?
Messi is
You
the
really
one.
think
Like,
Messi's
I think
the one?
when you have Messi there, I mean, it just causes so much disarray.
He's
I
the
think
Carmelo
people
Anthony, is what you're saying.
But do you think that's
defer
Messi's
to-
fault?
People defer too much to him. No, I don't think it's his fault.
I think it's the
just a
coach's
natural
fault.
thing
Oh,
that happens when you have a guy like that, which makes him so hard to coach and makes this team so hard to lead. I mean, I can't, for the life of me, think of somebody who I would want to have that job and to expect to do well.
You mean the coach, as the
Yeah.
coach? Yeah.
I think it's more
Bruce
of an issue.
Arena,
Always the answer.
Yeah. I think it's more the coach's fault, right? I think the coach has to be able to deal with a superstar like Messi, who has the talents that he has, and how he overshadows most of the other players, even though they in themselves are superstars, like Aguero and everybody else. And I think a good coach can dictate the terms of how they play more so than allowing them to be influenced by, because it seemed like Sampoli was influenced by the media and by fans who wanted certain lineups, and that's how he was making his decisions, and not by pure tactics.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I mean,
His
you look at some
tattoo artist was feeding him some info.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, to be
Like
fair,
your
great
dentist tried to give you
tattoos.
stock
Great
tips.
tattoos, but I mean,
Great.
Best tattoos on a manager at the World
yeah,
Cup.
seriously, best manager that wore a V-neck
Yeah.
shirt at the World Cup.
Bouncer.
Yeah.
He looked like one of the assistant coaches who
Yeah.
got way too excited on the sideline all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he made a lot of mistakes. I mean, Icardi, you know,
Yeah, that's
Dybala played
Dybala
what,
and-
like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
how do you
exactly.
explain that, man?
I mean,
How do you justify that?
It's arrogance. To me, always when a manager makes the mistake, it's an arrogance of not being more flexible to the situation. And I think he made so many through the situation that you can't deny that there's an approach to it that is just like, this is how I'm going to do it. This is how it's going to work. Klinsmann was the same way. I think that's why Klinsmann crashed and burned eventually.
If you're going to live and die and be crucified by the decisions you make, you might as well make them your own, right?
I guess. I guess.
And life.
Yeah, right.
life's there,
Somebody
huh?
write that down.
You know, feel a little philosophical.
Life
Here on
finds a
Footballers
way.
Convention.
Sorry, sorry, got a little deep here.
oh, Jeff Goldblum.
Cut it out, Seve. Cut it out, Seve.
A lot of people saying France looks a little more decisive.
France is
a little
gonna win 3-1.
stronger, a little better
3-1?
defense.
3-1.
3-1.
I think they're going to break down that defense.
I was super confident in France going into the Euros against Portugal too, but then they broke down.
I would be so confident in France if I didn't see them blow it against underwhelming Portugal. Yeah, and I remember that final where it was like they looked like they were going to win. We watched it. We watched your plays.
Yeah, it was just so.
With their cameras there too.
Yeah.
No.
Well, not the one Stevie knows about. There were. I mean, it was that tournament was almost a copy of this in the sense that France had to go through a very difficult knockout stage. Right, they were on the side of the bracket that they had to play through tough teams to get to the final. Whereas Portugal had, let's be honest, more of a cakewalk to get to the final, right? So that's why nobody expected Portugal to do anything because France had the tougher road, they had the better team, they had all of that, and I think France knew that.
They're at home.
And so they were at home, so they went into it without this sense of urgency, and they're like, we got this. You know, we're the much better team. We've already went through the tougher side of it. The last final was the game before against Germany. This is it, right? And I'm afraid that they're going to do the same thing with this team, with this game.
Do you think they've learned from this?
I hope
that's what I was
so.
gonna say.
I hope so.
I mean,
yeah.
they're talking all the right words. I mean, Pogba said in the media yesterday that he still thinks about that game, and it's still in the back of their mind. I mean, you said it right. It's pretty much a carbon copy. I'm going up against a team that's overachieving.
Oh!
Wow.
A company? No, I'll do it.
Joseph says he disagrees. He doesn't think there's a cakewalk. There is no cakewalk. Every team in the World Cup's a tough team.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, I don't
No
know
team.
about that.
Okay, maybe not a cakewalk, but if you're looking at teams
Iran
and someone
wasn't a
said
tough
you
team.
have to pick your route,
Iran almost qualified.
I know.
they should have.
I think that's a
Against
bad example.
Saudi Arabia is the right
Saudi
answer.
Arabia, that's the one I'm thinking, yeah.
Maybe not a
Okay,
cakewalk, but I think if you were looking at the teams that were there and you had to pick, you probably would pick a similar route to what you saw on the right side of the bracket, right? I mean, within reason.
I picked Croatia last for their game against England. I'm gonna pick Croatia again, man.
Yeah, you think, huh?
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I'll give it to
France
them.
can do it, but I just for me it's also because I want Croatia to do it. So
I respect that.
They'd be the second smallest country to ever win the tournament, I think.
Yeah, there was a great article this morning on The Ringer about the game West Germany versus Hungary in like 54 or something like that, talking about how it's very similar to what's going to happen tomorrow. It's very similar, that kind of smaller nation against a big soccer nation power at the time. So it could happen again, sure.
Every time I look at Croatia, I'm going, extra time, still one, extra time. even their third group game, Iceland equalized late, and then Croatia was already through, and they still came back and won it. And you know what I mean? They still
They find a way to grind it out.
They've after Uruguay, I feel like they've got the next most heart in terms of never sort of give up.
They've just got such a motor. I mean, how they don't break down. I mean, you looked at that extra time game against England, and you thought that England was the team that had gone through 2 penalty kick shootouts. They looked gassed.
Yeah.
And in the media afterward, they were like, well, they thought we were going to slow down. We're not going to slow down. We're going to run them over. I mean,
I think Modric has the most miles run so far in
Any
this tournament, and he's like averaging 9 miles a game or something, which is
that's a lot.
It's a ridiculous pace, even for a marathon runner, but for a soccer player who's sprinting most of the time.
Who went all the way to the Champions League final.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's a great point, yeah.
Played a lot of games this year.
He's thinner now than he was last year.
Yeah,
Like, it's incredible. He's getting
Well,
tighter
he
and
has
tighter.
to. You can't run that
That's
much.
what I'm saying.
And,
He may have adjusted. He may have figured out his
like
game.
somehow like collapsing it like a star.
It's like,
Yeah.
everybody stop getting deep. We're just watching soccer, man. No, I'm just saying, like, I think he realized his game works if he runs more. So running more, maybe in his training, has been something to get him tighter physically, and so he knows he can do that. So.
But he also chooses his moments to run right now. Like towards the ends of games when everybody else is getting tired, he reserves himself in the beginning and then really starts to apply the pressure at the end.
Exactly. He's like such an efficient player.
Yeah.
Like, so many players just run and they're chickens with the head cut off, but he knows when to make his runs.
I like that word.
There's no wasted sprints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let your strikers or your substitute players make that 40-yard thankless run, decoy run down the wing. He's choosing his spots. Van Sensei says, if I put the 5 of us on a squad with Roca as goalie, we do better than Saudi Arabia versus Russia.
Not wrong.
Why is Roca goalie?
Yeah, why am I goalie? Fabio should be goalie. He's the tall
Yeah, that's true.
guy.
I'm lengthy.
Yeah, I'll be the sweeper. I'm happy being the sweeper. That's what I always was.
I think we do all right. Brozovic ran 16.5 kilometers against England.
Wow.
He's been pretty good. He's an Inter, right?
He's an Inter player. Yeah, he hasn't been talked about much, but he's been doing good work, right? Like just putting in work in the midfield and winning balls and just leaving it off to Modric and Rakitic. I mean, when you're playing,
cover, right?
when you're playing with those two in front of you, it's hard for you to get a name for yourself. But I think he's been doing pretty well.
I think De Bruyne is starting to have a little bit of joy this game.
Did you watch that box video I was telling you about?
I watched a little bit of it.
Oh, you don't like it?
I started watching it and then I started doing something else. Went on with my life, I guess.
Nope.
Give everyone the summary though. Rehash it here. So
it's a really. I should have watched it again because now I'm gonna remember even less of it. Vox. I'm pretty sure it's Vox, right?
Yeah.
It's Vox. They have a really interesting video on YouTube that explains why France has become such a footballing power.
The exporting of players to renationalize players. Brazil's done.
France has the most number of players who are playing on other national teams, like players who were born in France. Playing now for like their parents' home nation or their grandparents' home nation.
Right.
How does that benefit the French national team?
Doesn't benefit the French national team at all, but I mean,
it's an example of
something
the talent.
that all these world class players are going to play for their parents or grandparents' home nations, because they figure they're going to have a harder time getting on France's.
I see.
Why Pulisic plays for the U.S. and not Croatia, right?
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you
He has
imagine?
the accent on his. Has accent marks all over his name.
Can you imagine?
Dirty Croatian fingerprints all over the place on that name.
Pulisic and Modric on the same. Good guy.
Yeah.
We got to get him to Liverpool. I don't care what it takes.
Tried.
There's reports that is it Jurgen
Tried.
I'm just saying.
Tried. Wasn't he the one who brought him to Dortmund?
Yeah, he did.
Just saying.
Spurs want him as well.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Spurs really trying to do a very American. Like I feel like they're trying to make themselves like the American team.
So they don't play any of their
That's a good point.
That's like how Mixed Discarud plays for Manchester City for some reason.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's a real thing.
What? You just made that up.
No,
Are you breaking something?
That that's a real thing.
Mixed Discarud?
Mixed Discarud plays for Manchester.
The same way that Henskip still plays for Aston Villa.
Yeah, on Wikipedia.
You could look at your Wikipedia, Adam.
When you found that.
Adam's better on the show at 8 p.m. than he is at 8 a.m. here on the show. Are you kidding?
But he's playing at Gothenburg. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those very long.
On loan from Manchester City.
I've been to that stadium.
Oh, he's on loan?
Yeah.
The fact that he's somehow making money
Yeah.
through Manchester City, and like he got cut.
What?
He got cut by New York City FC.
Right.
And somehow
Man
ended
City's
up
like,
at
I
Manchester
want
City.
that.
Maybe that's why they cut him. No, you're too good to be here.
Cut him so he could go.
That's the ultimate, fall upward.
That's that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's that breakup. Honey, I'm in your way. You go and find yourself. I'm in your way. All right, I'm going to go to Manchester City.
Go fall for someone that will never, ever, ever be with you.
That's right.
Be on loan for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
Open,
As he should be.
relationship.
I mean, he's terrible.
He's terrible.
Well deserved.
The fact that he wore the number 10 shirt at the 2014 World Cup is still...
What number did Wondolowski wear? We should have added another digit.
Negative
Should have
0.
added another digit. Yeah, that was her
Negative
negative
0.
sign. Yeah.
How do you miss a sitter like that?
I wonder what that like, what would that loss have done to Belgium? Because I mean, that was the same group of players.
You know what it would have done?
That,
all it would have done is got Wilmots fired
earlier
after that tournament instead of giving him 2 more years.
Yeah, for sure.
And and it might have been better for him. Then they wouldn't have wasted Euro 2016. I can't remember who put him out, but
that's a good point.
It seemed kind of like a lost tournament for them. Someone's asking, guys, what does England need to do right now? They can't get close to set up some free kicks or corners. They're definitely a set-piece team. I mean, they would like that, right?
They're not going to be able to do anything.
Belgium's just too good.
They are really.
They can just manage the game, see it out.
They're completely exposing how out of their depth England really was now in this game. You can see.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, you can just see.
I mean, we'll take a look at it in a couple minutes here at halftime, but it does look like Belgium's really passing around.
England's been playing catch-up the whole game.
What can England do right now? I mean, is it as simple as just say, play better?
I mean, they don't
do
have
what you're doing, but
they don't
better.
have a creative force on this team. There's no playmaker. I mean, you get the ball, you go wide, you try to get a foul, you try to find Kane in the box. I mean, it's a simple game plan.
Imagine Gerrard still playing on this team, and not his age
they would have
now,
probably lost.
Because they would have played Lampard, too.
Yeah. They would have lost in penalties to Colombia.
Any Chelsea player in the national.
At the same time, though, I wouldn't discredit this team too much because there are what do you say, 5 or 6 subs that are not true starters, especially on.
I guess you're right.
On the offense,
but shouldn't they be the ones really pressing, going for broke?
There's a reason that they're not starters, right? So, and the Belgian team is playing their A squad for the most part.
Well, and Fabio, that's a great point you bring up because I think that's when the game. I mean, after the goal, obviously the first goal of Croatia, they started to lose their confidence, and then when he made those substitutes, they didn't help the team, and so you knew it was over when the substitutes came in and they weren't even helping the team. You knew the game was over.
I was shocked that he waited so long to go to Vardy.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm shocked that Vardy or Rashford isn't starting this game.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Since those are his first 2 preferred subs.
Yeah, exactly. You would think that this is an opportunity to give them a full 90 minutes, or at least more than 10 minutes at the end of the game.
I think last time during that Sweden game, we spoke about how I was thinking about it, watching that game against Croatia. That they went to Rashford with little time in big games, and then they asked him to do something.
And they're upset when he doesn't produce anything, but you gave him 10 minutes to try and do something.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah. I said that when we were. Yeah, I was saying like you put him in 5 minutes. To what's the point, right? Because you're gonna need him. And sure enough, he was doing nice, dancing down the wings, but. You got to find the rhythm of the game. If you can't find the rhythm of the game, you're not used to playing that, and especially against a team like Croatia that is such a tenacious defensive team. You got to have your experience, and if you don't have it,
it's tough when you're going up against one of the best defenders in the world in Dejan Lovren.
Yeah. What?
That's what he said. That's what he called himself.
He calls him. You know what? I've seen a couple writers who put him in their team in the tournament. That's not even me.
After this tournament, can you come on? He's.
Yeah, I think it was Nature Report that's had an Instagram that was like. A quote from saying, "People must now understand I am one of the best defenders in the world."
I actually saw the interview of that. But
can you argue against that? I mean,
well, what's he supposed to say?
I can put a 10-minute clip that would argue against how terrible of a defender.
What's he supposed? What do you want him to say? Hey,
World Cup final within months, right?
It's true.
When you have players like Modric doing that too, I mean.
He gets a lot of stick. I mean, I feel like he's got to stick up for himself a little bit. But you don't want your defender to. Doesn't really enthuse confidence if he's like, well, I'm not really good. I'm just trying to keep my head down. You want him to say like.
Are we still getting philosophical at all? You gotta believe in yourself first before anyone else.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Exactly. It's contagious. Always.
It also inspires confidence from your teammates too. Right?
Absolutely, man.
So it's about damn time he started believing in himself. Jesus.
He's getting paid pretty well to believe
better late than never.
That's true.
Yeah.
Better late than never, man.
I also read something that said that Hazard is player of the tournament so far. Would you guys agree with that?
No way.
What?
It's Modric.
Who are these writers?
Where'd you read that?
All right, it's got to be someone in the final 4. It's got to be someone in the final 4. Belgium has been too spread out. Yeah. I think it's pretty much Modric's to lose, unless someone on France explodes in the final. Like if Griezmann scores a hat trick.
So you think Modric
Yeah.
is okay?
So far, I think, yeah. I mean, Hazard, I don't put him like at the bottom. He's probably the top 3 or 4 players. He's had great games.
Here we go. One-on-one. Let's see your skills.
Here we go.
Use a little
Go to the
pace.
left.
That's it?
Yeah,
That's it.
Very Heskey-ish.
What about? I mean, Modric, I think will end up winning it. I think he deserves it.
Even if they lose the final?
Conte, are you going to say make the Conte argument?
Yeah, he has been.
I mean,
You know what hurts him is that Mbappe, is that he splits the France vote, right?
Right.
Or even Griezmann or Lloris. Lloris maybe should also as well, but he'll get Golden Gloves.
I
And
mean,
like,
I don't think Lloris wins the Golden Glove. I think you
Really?
have to give it to Subasic.
Yeah, for sure.
For playing with one leg?
Penalty shootout.
Playing with one leg.
Yeah.
He won 2 penalty shootouts. I mean, he made that big save against Kane at the doorstep. I mean,
I think
what more could you want from the guy?
Capello came out and said that France is playing with 11.5 men when Conte plays.
Oh, hand in the pockets. Nice.
Yeah.
What do you care, Rob? It's a third place game.
He's too busy. He's in St. Pete right
Yeah.
now.
That's right. That's like the cardinal rule to not put your hands in your pockets. Anyway, all right.
super cash.
Yeah.
Just be like,
I'll zip mine up if that makes you feel a little better. So I know there's no chance of that happening here.
just go there, just right in the pocket.
Just right in.
How do you feel about back pockets?
Back pocket's even worse. If you
That's some Yogi Low. Business right there.
Putting some hands down south.
You gotta do that. You gotta do that thing, the handout thing. Yeah, well, we'll be right back. That kind of thing. Put it in your pockets. It's like, well, if you want to watch, come back after the
To be
break.
fair, I did that once on. I remember.
I tweeted about it.
My first times on.
I said Adam is putting his hands in his pockets.
I did that, and I immediately had a producer yelling, "Take your fucking hands out of your fucking pockets!" Okay, never do that again. All right.
Sorry.
Well, I'm just gonna talk with my hands now.
It's the cardinal rule, man.
Thanks.
Joseph is saying, come on, Roca. Lovren has played a great World Cup and a great Liverpool season.
He's not played a great Liverpool season. He played a great second half of the season.
He had a couple good games.
Yeah.
Like Champions League. Champions League was great.
Champions League was great, and I can't deny that. The second half of the season, absolutely, and the stats show that out. Like Klopp did a great job in stabilizing the defense, and Lovren was a part of that. And to credit to Klopp, who kept saying Lovren is a good player. So.
He's got the ability. It's just, he also does some bonehead things. Should we take a look here at halftime?
I don't know.
See what we can find.
Joseph and Grimish are going at it.
There's some good comments in the YouTube feed.
They're like arguing with each other.
Let's take a look at this guy. Oh, it's
Snacks, water.
possession. Do you?
All right, just me and you.
Bye. Do you guys believe
Sorry,
that?
I'm just thirsty. Hey, if Rob Stone could put his hands in his pockets.
All right.
Bring some snacks over.
I'm putting my hands in. I'm going any pockets. I'm going Al Bundy. Whatever I got to do.
Put left hand in front of the
Go Yogi Low.
Yeah.
You want to get?
I wouldn't do that to you guys after.
You want to get views?
The handshakes.
This is actually really surprising.
It feels like Belgium's been...
What? Wow, that is surprising.
All right. Well, here's what this is.
Are you Terry? Are you sure these are the right stats?
Is this not from the nonsense game?
This is last 2 weeks ago. Goal attempt. All right, that's how we know it's right. The goal attempts. We know Belgium had more.
Wait, is the score right? Okay.
Score is right. Successful. They're passing pretty successfully.
Wow.
All right, this isn't giving us the real story. We got to get in. We got to get in deep. We got to get in deep. So this is telling us we got to roll the sleeves up a little bit. All right, here we go. That makes sense. It's been in England's third a little bit.
I mean, it makes sense that the possession has been in the midfield the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, more so than most games, right? Most games that number is more like 45.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not balanced. It's pretty bunched up in the center. And I mean, as we've seen, Belgium has had the lion's share of possession in England's end.
But look how deep their forwards are playing.
Look at
You know what I mean?
look at
Look
Meunier. He scores a goal, and all of a sudden he's the furthest player up the field. He's really feeling it.
So that's very low lying for Lukaku to be so far back, right in Hazard and De Bruyne's place. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they feel they can attack the England defense better like that as a wall coming forward than one person piercing through around. And
You
moving
see
on
the
sides.
gaps that show up sometimes when they break. I mean, I think that could be why he's having these players play so bunched up. I mean, because of that wall.
We've seen Lukaku get alone a couple times, though, one-on-one. You're waiting for him to turn on his next gear, but maybe he doesn't. I feel like we've seen him use it before.
Yeah.
Like, am I misremembering that he's got a little pace?
Brazil,
exactly.
or Japan, yeah.
When he makes that full field run. So they are getting him isolated a little bit. Yeah. On the other side, though, Company also, you can see there's a little space forming that there might be a little area for Sterling to get into because he likes that run. Sterling one-on-one with the defender makes me feel a little better about a goal could be coming, even though he might squander it.
Yeah.
Well, the goal opportunity that Sterling had where he received the long ball, and then laid it off to Kane, that space that it showed on the Belgian space was there on purpose. Yeah, he was there.
Kane ran in and it was
exactly.
Basically free. Pretty high line by England. I guess against Lukaku, they're willing to take that gamble that if they do play one over the top, they could probably chase him down. Yeah. I'm thinking that's what I'm trying to give Southgate some credit here since, he loses one match. I don't want to completely put the pitchfork in him.
I mean, I'm all for this, though, having a very high line. It shows that at least he's not conceding space and he's allowing his team to pressure up higher. I think that's a good tactic on his part.
He's got nothing to lose.
In front of you.
Yeah.
All right, we got to see the team pass maps here because I feel like this will tell us a little bit of something.
You see that it's all bunched up in the center.
Right. Yeah.
You're not really seeing much in the Belgium attacking third.
Yeah. I mean, look at right here. The nothing on the left wing.
Yep.
Even old man, Ashley Young, I felt like was getting in that space a little bit more in games past.
Certainly against Sweden.
Yeah. Let's look at
and even Croatia, he had some moves down there too, definitely. Yeah, they were like all over the place. Good God, that is how you do it. Good God.
You can tell that they're also doing a lot more. There's a lot more long balls out of the back towards their top line, unsuccessfully, but still they're trying it more than England was.
And they are finding the wings.
Yeah.
A little bit better. This is a little more positive. Yeah, look at that chance created there. Let's take a look at De Bruyne specifically. 39 passes. It's a pretty good amount.
Efficient but invisible. It felt like to me.
Yeah, you didn't really see him that much for what he showed. Like 2 chances created. I can't even think of them right now.
Should we look at Mr. Sterling?
Yeah, I mean,
even more so.
Only one giveaway in terms of passing. I know he also was dispossessed when he was standing there for about 20 minutes without any idea, waiting for some order there. So
I'm curious to see.
Is that better or worse? Has he been more impressive or less impressive than De Bruyne for you?
I don't know. Probably about the same, right? We've talked about him a little bit. He's receiving the ball and making passes, but I don't know if he's really stood out. I can't think of these 2 chances created.
I think it was a layoff for shot, and then just try to play someone through there.
It's funny, these stats, our eye test is telling us Belgium is controlling this game, demolishing England, yet the stats don't bear that out. So that, I don't know, we could have a good second half here where England finds these things out and exposes them. I don't know. It just feels
the
like
reverse of the Croatia-England game.
Yeah.
England scored too early, and then Belgium scored too early.
But we saw that too when we were looking, and we said, look, we were like, England felt like they were in control most of the first half.
Yeah.
Then we looked at stats and went, wait, Croatia actually not that bothered. They've been able to knock some stuff around. So I feel like we kind of foresaw what was going to happen a little in the second half, us and everyone at home in England who's seen that story, where Croatia wasn't that under duress. Like they conceded a goal early, but they were starting to grow into the game, and there were some signs that they might create some opportunities as they did in the.
England's had chances in this game as well. I mean, Kane's missed 2 kind of open-ish shots, right?
Open-ish.
Yeah. So I don't know. They can definitely pull it off still.
Courtois has how many saves right now? I mean. They have tested him. I mean, he's had.
Let's see.
He's had to make a few stops.
You want to pick Courtois over there? I'll pick Pickford. Go ahead. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean Pickford obviously seen
more shots, but not on target.
Yeah.
Courtois had to make a couple like simple saves.
Punches how many people he's hit.
That's tough. I mean, he's such a tall guy. He's got to be punching down at people, especially.
Oh yeah,
Jordan Pickford.
Has there been any height jokes or anything? I mean, tiny 6'1" Jordan Pickford, the little man.
The midget.
Shaqiri just neck and neck.
Yeah.
It was Courtois, wasn't it? It was making fun of him?
Yeah.
His size?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I totally forgot
David
that.
and Goliath. Rocky
really is.
versus Drago.
Oh, see, now I think England has to win. Come on.
All right.
And Pickford should score the
I
header.
think you
to
got
win.
what you have Young, you have Dele Alli on the bench.
Lingard.
Rashford, Lingard,
Rashford.
Welbeck,
Vardy's still on the bench,
Vardy.
isn't he? Yeah.
I mean,
Danny Welbeck's on the bench?
yeah, exactly. That's as useful as bringing 16-year-old Theo Walcott to the 2006 World Cup,
Man,
right?
I
Like,
remember that. That was such news.
was that Steve McLaren? I can't remember.
No,
who
that was wasn't that Sven?
I think it was after Sven.
Was that?
I don't get.
I think Sven was 06.
Might have, maybe.
Yeah,
he was.
Sven
I know he was.
06.
He got 2 World Cups, right? Because I think he was 2002.
Yeah.
He was 2002 for sure. I remember that.
And then I have to remember who 2006.
Is that the one Beckham scored the goal against Greece to get in? Is that 2002 or 2006?
That was
2002.
2, yeah.
I
So
think
that
it
makes so Sven did make it through 2, yeah.
I think it was 2006 as well. I'm trying to remember.
he scored a
think
goal
so.
against Ecuador in 2006. Beckham did, but no, I think it was Sven 2006 for sure. McLaren was 2010.
Yeah.
I'll buy that.
McLaren.
So it could be a lot worse, England
mean,
fans.
yeah.
Could be a lot worse.
Great coaches all.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could have had Sam Allardyce.
Oh.
Seriously.
The sound bites alone would have been worth it.
I just love that
Oh,
he drinks
okay.
wine out of a pint glass to conceal how much wine he's drinking at once. Like
It
that.
would
Like
be
that's like a classic low life move to do.
Alcoholics move.
Yeah, as he tells you how to like circumvent
Don't care
FIFA
about Belgium.
ethics
Yeah.
to take transfer money.
Is Belgium still a nation? Oh, don't care about Belgium. He's just be doing that the whole time. With half a sandwich in his mouth.
And a goblet of wine. It's only half because you already ate half.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
It's a substance.
It's only half because you took it off your plate.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, this is actually kind of surprising in the sense that they're really going to Meunier a lot.
Yeah.
And this is Hazard's side, right? And he's been drifting into the middle, which we saw in his passing stats, but he's not pressuring the
You'd
right
like
side of
to
England's
see him-
defense.
Does Hazard have the discipline to not come towards the ball? I feel like he's a drifter. Like he's
Yeah,
got
he
that. I
cuts
want
in
the
all
ball
the
so
time,
bad.
yeah.
Like I'll come to where it is rather than be patient. Might see less of it, but when you do, it'll be in a better position. I don't think he has that restraint.
I don't know. This is the side that they got the cross in for the goal from, right? Why not continue to? Who's this? Trippier's side?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Why not continue to pressure this side, right? I don't know.
Like you said, I just don't think Hazard has the discipline.
To stay out wide?
He's the classic, cam midfielder who's just going to always drift, go on his preferred foot, and try to find.
You know
goal.
what Hazard is?
Robin.
He was the prodigious young player who was too good to ever be restrained. Like you know what I mean? His talent was allowed him to like. Coaches be like, all right, well, just let him go. Like he keeps scoring, he keeps like, who are we to tell him no? Like his talent is almost too good because he didn't learn that sort of discipline or. England, this is surprising. This just tells me they haven't attacked enough, really, because 41% are left, but they weren't. That was from more this area rather than we saw no passes in this area at all. So
Their wing work is great. The problem is they have no one to send it into.
Yeah.
Kane is there, but Kane looks shot right now over the last 2-3 games. So they have no confidence. You're not going to send it into diminutive Raheem. There's no one in there to take that ball.
So you're saying if you're Real Madrid right now, you're not looking at Kane and penciling him in
Are
the
you
starting
kidding?
lineup?
No, hell no.
I think I would still take Benzema over Kane.
What do you think he feels watching the final from home tomorrow?
Benzema?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Karim.
I'm sure he's upset that he's not on the squad, but he's
When you got Giroud, when you're sending Giroud out there,
yeah.
and I just don't buy the Giroud creates so many opportunities. I've looked at he doesn't create as many chances as everyone else out there. It's not like he's just winning everything Jan Koller style for Czech Republic out of the air and just laying it down. Like he just doesn't look very good. Benzema works like in the right system at Real. We saw him.
Yeah.
We saw the Champions League goal when he blocked Karius. I mean, is that not? He's showing a little bit of effort. I mean,
When I woke up this morning, the chances of a Jan Koller reference were like maybe 6 million to 1.
not around me,
No,
buddy.
I mean, shut up,
Yeah.
son.
Not
Shut
around
up.
me.
How about that goal that he scored, though?
I mean,
that was
That
so.
volley? Was it a volley?
No, it was a header when, like, inside the first 6 minutes against the USA.
All right,
2006 World
we've
Cup.
got that up now. Let's take a look at that. Terry.
The greatest, the greatest match I've ever seen played, Euro 2004, Netherlands and Czech Republic 3-2, and I'll just Jan Koller, Milan Baros. It was.
Milan Baros.
I have that. I repeat this because it bears repeating.
Could have been.
I keep a VHS player. And I had because the only reason is because I have that recorded. I recorded at my parents' house on VHS, and I ran out of space on one, so I have first half on one tape, second half on another. It's the only reason to keep one around. That match is the best.
I have the same thing in my attic at the house. I have a VHS player and all the 1998 World Cup VHS games, like all of them on VHS. For that reason only.
I feel old for having a DVD player. Jeez.
It'll be like vinyl. It'll be cool again.
Yeah.
It'll be cool. It'll come back.
When the nuclear war happens, you're gonna want a VCR.
Exactly.
I got those DVDs for you.
Yeah, we got all your media needs covered here. Belgium shots we'll take a look at real quick before the second half starts. Mostly inside the box, mostly central. Decent enough. Lukaku with that block right there. He had someone 1-on-1. I mean, when you're that isolated, all you got to do is just a quick move to the side. You can take 4 yards if you need it.
Well, that was the problem. You said a quick move. I don't think he's necessarily been the quickest player. He can be fast when he builds up speed, but he's not a quick player.
Credit to England though. 4 blocks. That's
that's
a good day of work.
That's hairy.
Those chances are smart chances too. Those are good chances right there. You know, they're not wild outside the box chances. Speaking of which.
Yeah, like, I mean, a good shot, but do you really want your players shooting from 35 yards
Raheem
out?
of all people from way out there?
Yeah. Courtois is built to deal with long shots.
Yeah, he knows how to deal with this. I mean, that's why you've seen the saves, but you haven't really seen him truly test it.
And they've all been central, too.
Yeah, he hasn't been diving. Has he gotten on the ground? I don't even know.
I think
You're the man.
Oh, beautiful.
Lighting is up to your standards.
Paper, just like I like it.
Second half kicking off here.
Rashford is in.
What?
Oh, really?
There it is.
Sterling out, Rashford in.
Oh, good. I mean,
What are we looking at here?
Going back to your, I wasn't in here, right? For your Giroud comment.
Yeah, your boy.
You know, I believe that he's in there as to lure the opposing defense into a false sense of confidence. I'll stick with that. Why else would they play him?
He's the red herring in there.
So much.
He's got gray hair. That's one.
I think he brings, not facetiously, I think he actually brings, like, he has to be monitored and watched constantly by the defense, which allows players like Griezmann and others to move forward.
Wouldn't I, though? Wouldn't anyone here have to be monitored by the defense?
Because of his size. Because of his size. Because of his size, you have to put additional strength and effort into it. And I would say the same thing with Mandzukic, right? Mandzukic is not as big of a player as he is, but because of Mandzukic's constant being in kind of a nuisance there, I think he draws more attention, which frees up your other players.
And to be fair, Giroud's he is a heading possibility. So there is he has scored with his head. Yeah, no, right. He has,
Good tackle.
Good defense.
I thought he went down too early.
But he is a target if you're going on corners or set pieces. Oh, goal kick, son of a.
I'm trying to catch up in the chat here. Joseph and Grimash, let me know what I missed. I know you guys were having some good convo, so just give me the highlights here. Let me know what we missed when I was up there. I think they're gonna get together and watch a match sometime.
That's an interesting trend. Do you think if Modric wins the World Cup as well, he also wins the Ballon d'Or?
Yeah, I think so. And a month ago, I never saw that coming.
Interesting.
But you have to, right?
Was he the man of the match for Real Madrid in the Champions League?
I think
that was Gareth Bale.
Yeah, but he was maybe their best or most consistent performer throughout that Champions League campaign. And then
that's for sure.
If Croatia win the World Cup and he's their best,
you can't
ignore that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's true.
You think they'd give it to a player like him though after Iniesta didn't win it?
I mean, I think.
He's clearly been the best player here, though, right? Iniesta, Spain, it was like everyone.
Yeah, Spain was.
As much as we're saying, they have Rakitic, they have Mandzukic, I mean, he makes them go.
if Croatia wins the World Cup, I don't know how you can not give Modric.
I don't remember. Is it defined by the calendar year or the soccer year?
I think it's soccer season. LX Marino says Vardy is better than Sterling.
You're insane, but okay.
Let's see. Oh,
He's better goal scorer.
Terry's got some good comments. She's telling me Djokovic went to the final, beat Nadal. All right, well, that's good to know. We're worried about that.
Wow. So Djokovic and Anderson in the final.
Harry Kane had fewer touches in the first half than any other England player, including Pickford.
Really?
And Abo Malaka says, wow. So, okay.
Who was that cross? That was terrible.
And Joseph says it is calendar year.
It is calendar year. That's what I thought. Okay.
Oof.
I remember when there used to be, when there was the Great Schism and there was like the Ballon d'Or and like FIFA Pro Player of the Year. One was calendar, one was season. I can't remember. Grimash says the highlights that we missed in the chat was respect between two Slavic football fans. There's five of us here too. I mean, I would love to see Croatia win. I think that'd be a good story.
It'd be a great story.
Croatia to win in Russia, considering how they were created out of Yugoslavia, is incredible. Do you know what I'm saying? Like politically, it's incredible.
You've got some history for us here.
Well,
right?
I mean, that's true. I mean, yeah.
Everybody.
If you're going to go off that, you'd probably say you wouldn't bet on the French to win in Russia.
That's.
I mean,
well, it depends on how people view the Croatians in Russia. Yeah. But they've definitely traveled with a lot of fans, so there'll be a strong presence. But I think people love France, the way they play, and so I think there'll be a lot of fans for France, neutral fans. Sorry. Yeah.
Are there any other teams of the former Yugoslavia or other countries that are as good as Croatia, or were they?
Well, the Czech Republic, right?
Czech Republic.
I guess.
What were all the countries? Now,
Czech Republic,
Serbia?
I mean,
Serbia part of it?
Serbia,
Herzegovina,
Bosnia.
Bosnia and
Bosnia.
Herzegovina.
Right?
Who they had some superstar players that didn't qualify for the tournament.
They were a disappointment in, what was it, 2014? Yeah, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Dzeko, your boy.
Dzeko, yeah.
Edin Dzeko.
And Pjanic, I think was on that team as well.
Isn't that who Donovan scored that goal against? Was it Bosnia or was it Serbia?
Slovenia.
Slovenia.
He scored that tight angle. I mean, then Maurice Adu was called offside for some reason.
He almost shot that ball through the net.
It's crazy. That's one of those games where you like, at the time it mattered so much, and then they get that result, they still end up playing Ghana.
Yeah.
Everything. The universe ends up exactly the way it's supposed to.
At least we won that group, Group C, 2010 World Cup. So England runners up to America. That's my big takeaway.
Remember, that was the easy group too.
Yeah.
The quote unquote easy group.
When he scored that goal to send them into the next round, I was at Cat and Fiddle back when it was on Sunset.
Yeah?
It was packed.
Really?
With U.S. fans, just packed from inside out. When he scored that goal, going up with Tim Howard and the throw and everything, people piled on top of each other in the middle, on the outside, like literally on top of each other, and people were yelling and going crazy. It was like 20 of us just on top of each other. I'd never seen that in my life as a
I was at one of those bars on Hollywood and Vine.
Oh, yeah.
It was like packed. There was, hundreds of people there. He scores. It goes crazy. I'm filming this. Naturally, immediately upload it on YouTube. Gets however many thousand views or whatever. And people started like a march. Just like,
oh, really?
Yeah. They were marching and supporting the U.S. team. It was hilarious.
That's
like that.
Great.
And they play Ghana, and
Right. Well.
We know.
Damn you, Ghana.
Still should have defended Jan Koller better in 2006. I mean, that 2006 team was one of those big embarrassments, I think. Like, they expect them to do so well. Oh, they went to quarterfinals, 2002.
We overperformed a little in 2002, maybe.
Yeah.
Although we did outplay
sending
Germany
this?
for most of that game.
We did.
Should have beat Germany. That was a handball.
That game we should have won.
Handball, too.
It was a handball. I don't care what they say. That was a handball. That's a corrupt official referee going, maybe Germany, I'll let this go.
Yeah, I'll never forget that because there was so much hype around that 2006 team. Like it was like such a big deal. Like, oh yeah, we're ranked 7th in the world for some reason. This is our big breakout. And then Czech Republic, Jan Koller scores inside 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh, this whole tournament is going to go very badly.
Fabio had a great one that tournament.
That was
he was having a good time.
Hey, the only team
they tied.
Only team to not lose to Italy.
Yeah. Was that the one De Rossi elbowed?
Yeah, McBride.
Yeah.
McBride
And then I think
I was in New York. I watched that bar in New
what
York.
was his name? It wasn't Bokenegger. The U.S. player who got a red card like shortly afterwards, as well.
Terry, look it up. You got it.
But it was a dumb move on the U.S.'s part. I think he got 2 consecutive yellows.
I think it was Mascherano. Not Mascherano.
I believe that.
Mastroeni.
Pablo Mastroeni.
Was it? It might have been Mastroeni.
That was a good chance. If he had taken a little bit of speed off that cross.
England's looked a lot better the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Came out.
Maybe they looked at the stats analysis. And they're like,
Yeah,
okay.
right.
All right.
You're welcome.
They're watching. Getting some comments here about why America is underperforming nation internationally, and they're saying the MLS. This is your chance, Adam. Defend the MLS. Say it. Tell us it's not.
I mean, you can't say. I mean, I think what needs to change has to change a lot sooner than MLS. I mean, it's about academy systems. It's about coaching.
ProRel. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it'll eventually happen. I mean, probably not anytime soon.
What is that?
Promotion relegation.
Oh.
It's like the
Huge.
hugest, I think it kind of.
Are the second-tier teams good enough?
Has to happen? No.
Like,
But I think the problem is money. I mean, you're trying to invest in soccer in America, and I mean, we're all working in it right now. It's a process, and if you're going to be an owner of a team like Houston Dynamo, if you're Oscar De La Hoya and you can tell them, okay, well, your team can get relegated and replaced by Chattanooga FC, they're probably not going to want to invest because that's just not usually the way that we do things in America. So, I mean, it's...
But I don't think it's just that. There's a lot like little things too. The fact that the MLS season is during the summer when it's not at the same time as every other soccer league in the world, that's part of a problem, right?
Yeah, I mean it's hard. I mean
It didn't used to be that way too.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you look at
nice.
Again.
Cock blows it.
Good save.
I mean, was he confused on that play right there? Like,
forgot which goal he was going towards.
Oh shit! I'm open.
Great ball.
Oh
my!
His first touch has been shit this whole game.
Oh, is that a mag? De Bruyne played that, right?
Yeah, the second meg of the game that he's done through ball to Lukaku.
Come on, you guys are giving him a hard time. I think De Bruyne's been all right this game. I think
he's been
in a third place consolation game. Sure, yeah, that's fine.
What do you want him to do? He'll play tomorrow if you ask him to.
I'm just saying, like when he needed to show up, he really messed it.
Oh, he'll play, but will he show up?
It's not even that he was not there at all against France. It's more that he made many bad decisions and bad passes.
Terrible decision making. Yeah, terrible decision making.
He was like actively not there.
Yeah.
He was trying really hard to not be there.
We're going to question, why do Americans call a sport soccer?
Oh, forgot.
Well, because we have our own football.
Yeah.
Same as why the Irish call it soccer, because they have Gaelic football. That's their football. Same as why the Aussies. And I believe...
Also, didn't England create the
it's
soccer?
Association Soccer.
Association...
Who is this person? Look, there's a thing called Google.
Football.
Association Football, but it's like
If you go to Google and type in soccer, they'll tell you why it's called soccer. What's wrong with you?
I mean, do people people really care about that?
They
Is
still
that a
bring,
serious
people
thing?
they still bring it up all the time on
Purists,
Twitter.
man.
People suck.
Purists.
Uh,
Well, there's so many other words that you know, between languages.
I mean, I'd
That
rather
are
die than call it footy.
Yes.
Also,
I mean-
Footy
changing
convention,
it to
Footy
football is
convention.
not going to subtly make the United States more
Yeah, right. All of a sudden.
better.
That's what's missing. We
You
can call
discovered it,
that.
Fabi. That's it.
We've got a lot of problems. That's not our
Yeah,
biggest
why
one.
isn't this called soccer convention? Soccer's convention?
It was already
It's a
taken.
compound
It was-
word.
yeah,
I
it
like
was-
it. I like it as a compound word. I'm not going to say it.
You know why? I honestly, because I don't know what word I would say. Soccer players is too long. It's like soccer.
Listen,
No, I like it's.
You may not like what I'm going
Piffy.
to say, but we're the number one country in the
Footballers.
world. So if we decide to call it soccer, that's what it is. You just deal with it.
It looks good.
The Roca speaks.
Yeah.
When you take over the world, then you call it what you want.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh, come on, man.
Everyone's missing out on my intellectual commentary. Sorry, the microphone was turned the wrong way.
I was trying to have Terry turn it off on you. And you didn't get the memo.
Do you all play together as well? Do you play with them on their team soccer?
No.
Like, how do you go?
I played with Sevi for
Okay,
a while.
okay.
Yeah, never with Fabio. Fortunately, or unfortunately.
Well,
depending on who you
Probably
ask.
fortunately.
No.
Recently.
He does all the hard work. It's great playing with him.
Really?
What position do you play?
He's Brozovic.
I'm usually center mid.
Oh,
Is it a compliment
Is
or
Sevi
a-
a striker or is he a midfielder?
Well, you know what's funny? When I first
Or
went
is
to
he
the
a
team,
defender?
He's defender.
Sevi was striker.
That
So
tells you
they
the
got
state
moved
of
back.
state of our team when you
Yeah.
joined. Where
Because
we're
then
at.
when Sevi was put in the back line, I remember being surprised at how good he was back there.
Oh,
Like, why hasn't he been doing this the whole time?
interesting.
See,
What do you play?
It's in his blood.
Are you a striker?
Yeah,
No,
I
defender.
game a few before
79
this,
in high
too.
school, we were the defensive back.
Oh, you guys went to high school together?
Yeah.
Jesus. Now, Adam, how do you know these guys?
Friends of friends.
friends of
Oh,
friends,
okay,
yeah,
right on.
pretty
Okay.
much.
He was outside the studio this morning.
just hanging out.
Yeah, he was lurking.
I need studio time.
Someone was going through the dumpster this morning, and I said, "Hey, you're up. Let's go."
Let's go.
You know
I
anything?
watched your show the other night. I watched you on the other night. Weren't you on like
Spectrum,
yeah,
yeah.
on Spectrum. I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He dressed up for that show. He took a
No
shower,
po-
wore a
no
suit,
hands in
things
pockets?
with the-
No hands in
he put like
pockets, that
things
one.
through his hair. I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
I know,
this
right?
is the
Because
guy.
I was looking at the two and I was like, now I feel bad.
What's the show? What's the show you do?
Spectrum Sportsnet. I cover
Okay.
the Galaxy, so I was co-hosting their show.
Cool.
Oh,
Talking about-
Lukaku out.
How you feeling about the derby coming up?
I mean, it's the biggest game of the year. It's always fun. I mean,
The LAFC one.
yeah.
This is the first year they're doing right
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this is the
I
first
mean,
year.
they had it with Chivas. It was a big deal.
I like their color scheme, man. I'm not gonna lie. The LAFC.
LAFC?
Yeah, man. That gold and black.
Yeah, I
is
like
nice.
it
It's
too.
good.
It's
good
nice.
color.
It's clean.
That's the only compliment I think I'll ever get.
Is LAFC Will Ferrell's team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Among others, yeah. Among
Will
others.
Oh, he has
Ferrell,
others?
Magic Johnson, Will Ferrell.
They're all investors in it.
Him.
They have like
Yeah.
they have more
Ian
owners
Gruber.
than Croatia has people. I mean,
Easy.
I had to.
4.5 million owners.
But yeah, I mean,
First time
it's,
at the new
it's
stadium
exciting.
too. It's gonna
It's
be
exciting.
great.
I went to their
Atmosphere's
first
gonna be
game.
great.
I went to their first game against Seattle.
I was there.
It was-
I was in the
it
sports
was-
section.
Were you
Yeah.
incognito? Did you have like the hat
I
on? Like,
did actually wear a hat.
Were you wearing LAFC stuff?
No, of course not. Fuck.
he doesn't own that. Come on.
Come on now.
Do you wear a
maybe
Man United kit?
sunglasses.
on?
Yeah, you wear your Manchester United jersey.
What?
And,
What?
Exactly. Now we got John
Don't
all
own
up
it.
in arms.
there we go.
I imagine you're a young guy, so you've never known the world before Manchester United was shit. So like
You mean before they were?
Yeah,
Before
when
they
they were
were shit?
dominating.
He
before they were
knows.
good, is what I'm
Before they were
saying.
good,
You haven't known
okay,
a world
yeah,
where
yeah.
they were shit.
I don't think I've ever really. I can't really remember when Chelsea was bad.
Really?
Yeah.
There was-
Before I remember before Abramovich.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Well,
Zola days.
Zola
Zola,
days.
exactly.
He's
before.
assistant manager now.
At Chelsea?
Yeah, because they appointed Sarri, and he said I'm bringing Zola, which I think might be. That was a pretty good move.
Zola or sorry?
Both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Good
is
ball.
interesting.
Oh, what a
Do you like
ball.
Sarri? Do you like this idea with Juninho as well? Like this?
He's a great
Oh, you just gotta
player.
be offside, right?
Ooh,
Offside?
good tackle.
Recovery.
I mean, anything that's drama, I love. And
Okay.
Sarri, chain smoking, and a total different philosophy than content. It's just like his quotes too. Like
Yeah.
when he's something that's shit, he calls it shit. Like he.
I think it'll last 3 years, tops. Because he is so unabashedly opinionated
He's
that
a
I think,
polarizing person for
yeah, I think Roman's gonna be like, that's enough. You can go now.
Do you
Unless he
think
lifts a
they're little
trophy.
harsh?
If he lifts a Champions League trophy, then
Conte lifted the
Abramovich-
trophy.
Do you think they're harsh on Conte?
Huh?
He gave up. He quit on them.
Yeah.
I mean, like, in
You think Conte did?
yeah.
Okay.
He totally mailed it in last season. Like once, and his quotes were like, "Well, I don't know if we're good, but like we'll try to win. You know, it was like he wasn't even trying to say the right thing.
I think he lost the locker room.
Yeah.
And then, slammed heads with the guys, with Roman and everybody in charge. So like he just, essentially, I think that's a good. I think that's a great point. He gave up and he just didn't care, and the players didn't care either.
I mean, what does that say about the state of club soccer in terms of managing? I mean,
Carousel.
I don't like it, man.
I mean, look at Ranieri.
Yeah.
That was sad.
Ranieri gets the axe after leading
the greatest ever.
Yeah.
Because those guys started feeling themselves, and Ranieri's like, I can't coach this team. This team now thinks they're the greatest thing that ever walked the earth.
But he managed big clubs, right?
Yeah, but those guys, those are guys that are thinking they're better than they actually are, and that's at some point.
Names. Were you saying
Vardy, all those
Mahrez,
guys? Yeah.
Conte left.
Yeah. Well, Mahrez just left.
Drinkwater.
I mean,
now.
they missed Conte. Conte was the glue that held that team together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Morgan gets a year older. Same with Huth. I mean, you're just kind of. You're not going to catch lightning in the bottle twice.
Right.
And they made a decent Champions League run. I mean.
But to your point about the manager stuff, like in order to get rid of Conte, they had to buy him out.
Yep.
And then they had to buy out Sarri's contract as well. So I don't know. It's a lot of money that was spent.
Cycle.
Yeah.
A lot of money to get your 11th manager in your 11th season.
Like, I don't know.
These owners, like, they have the money.
Yeah.
They have the money to not necessarily throw around. I mean, use the word lightly with that kind of money,
I think he throws around.
But I mean, what you just don't see managers stick around, especially with teams like Chelsea, United.
It's all about the Champions League, for a lot of the English clubs. So Abramovich, if you're not going to win in the Champions League, he doesn't care if you win in the Premier League. It doesn't seem like.
Yeah.
They don't care at all.
Well, then how come he sacked Roberto Di Matteo after you won him the Champions League and he was gone the next season?
I think he didn't.
That's crazy.
That's
It's
a
crazy.
fair point.
I think he didn't find Di Matteo flashy enough, to be honest with you. I thought he was so workmanlike that he didn't quite
Be Chelsea manager.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Also, I would give it more to the team than I would give it to Di Matteo
winning
that. You know what I mean?
I think there's no pleasing the guy.
Yes.
I honestly think
That I agree with.
The worst thing that could happen to you is you be successful, you win something, and then when you don't win it again next year, like most teams don't, and then you get the axe because you set crazy expectations.
Well, he's trying to be Real Madrid, right? Isn't Real Madrid Real Madrid? Ancelotti, they fired Ancelotti after he won the Decima for them. You know what I mean? Even though he didn't win the La Liga
twice. Didn't they do it twice?
And it's just like. I mean,
good
Zidane
ball.
lasted 3 years.
Here it is.
Unbelievably.
Too much.
Who played that one? Was that Hazard?
Oh,
What's going to happen to? Where do you think Zidane's going to go next? Because he said he's not done.
If
said
France
he's done
loses, I think he goes in and
National team.
he's their savior. I think so.
Really? After Didi takes him to the.
I'm guessing he doesn't like the daily grind that he has to do
Yeah.
I think
at club.
that's fair. Yeah, I mean, obviously he's Zidane. I mean, his footballing mind is another world.
Yeah.
But I think that's a nice little gig because I mean they already hate Deschamps.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah, nobody really likes him.
That's incredible how much they hate Deschamps. And he has such a great
they'll
pedigree.
They'd celebrate winning the tournament tomorrow, and they're gonna just like push him off the ledge or something.
Yeah.
first.
They're just not going to give him anything.
He goes to get his medal. Somebody pulls him back. You know what? No.
Kalinic came back, so we're going to try and give him something. Sorry, we got some questions to catch up on. Do you think 48 teams in the World Cup 2026 is too much?
It's going to be a lot of games.
Who thinks it isn't? I mean,
I hate it.
You want it?
I'm okay with it.
Oh, you're so American.
I want more soccer. Give me more.
Yeah, but more soccer from terrible countries. It makes no sense.
But, like, I made the point earlier. We were talking about Iran, right?
Right.
All right, and we say that, okay, Iran is bad because, well, whatever reason.
Right.
Because we can't name any of their players.
And they almost advance, and they play some of the best, most attractive soccer. Same with a country like Morocco.
Morocco did too.
I mean,
yeah.
I think we're getting a little ahead.
I don't
of
want
ourselves here.
Honduras getting in there.
It's
I don't
going to be
want.
a lot different.
That's just because you hate people from Honduras. I think it's more about.
Don't say it on camera.
It essentially moves much of the qualifying stage to the actual tournament.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
That's
that
what it's
last
doing.
qualifying stage,
Right.
Which is some of the best soccer you can watch when you get those like. I mean, I remember what was it? Ireland versus France a few years ago.
Well, Thierry Henry one?
Thierry
The
Henry
handball?
handball. I mean, it seems
I will
Ireland-
forever hate him for that. Forever.
I think
That's
we
not
all would have done the same though, wouldn't we?
No,
You
that's
wouldn't
not
have?
gentlemanly.
No, I would have 100% done this.
You done the same?
Yeah.
If it means your country goes to the World Cup, yeah.
It's
sure.
the
That way,
referee's
though?
job to be the arbiter of that.
I think you got
my job to look at myself in the mirror.
You have to be there to do what you can when you put on the shirt. So
Look
whether
at
it's
Robin
Henry,
Mexico.
and I hated Henry at the time, but then when Suarez did it, I was like, okay, well I need to think
didn't
about
like
how I
when
felt
Suarez-
about
Yeah.
this.
I didn't like
Because
when
when
did it.
Suarez did it, I was like, yes, that's exactly what you should do because you have to stop a clear goal
Ah,
opportunity.
that's different because there's punishment. There is
wasn't hiding
a
it.
penalty. There was
Yeah.
He
there
was
is
saying,
yeah.
I'm going to do this
Yes,
and
that's
take my
different,
medicine.
right? Same, but with Maradona did hand of God, I will never like that goal.
Yeah.
I'll never like that goal, and I'll never like the goal that Henry scored. I just don't. To me, that's cheating. If you're cheating to get to where you're going, then I got no respect for you.
Oh, Messi. Didn't Messi have one like that?
And if he
Yeah.
did, I wouldn't have liked it either. I just don't. That's not my thing.
Wasn't as flashy though. Maradona would say.
He would right before he passed out.
Oh yeah, I would say a lot of things.
What are England doing playing on the back like this?
Showing Pickford's
It's
been with the ball at his feet.
distribution, yeah. Okay, if they get out of it, all right. That's better.
So
Look
what do
how
you
far
Sad is
back
that
Kane
Everton
is.
have a better goalkeeper than them.
what do you guys think about the Ronaldo thing? Like, we haven't I haven't talked with you guys
It's not
about
my
it. So
happy things.
About what, going to Juve?
yeah, like, is this a right move?
Yeah.
What
It's
does Juve do? Like,
I think he's looking to get paid.
Well, he
He's
would've
looking
gotten
to
paid
keep his
No.
money.
He wouldn't
He's
got
gotta
the same
keep
in
it-
Real.
He's got to keep
yeah, he doesn't
his
want
money.
he doesn't want the
He
tax
doesn't want the Spanish
evasion.
to take his money.
that's a good point.
what-
Oh, here we go. Here we
what a
go.
play.
Come on!
Oh,
What a great
Hit it.
robbery right there.
Wow.
Dyer.
I mean, that would have, if it would have gone in,
Would have been a
that
nice
would've
goal,
been-
but
But like hit the ball.
Pretty.
You know what I
you don't
mean?
like the
Yeah.
chip,
He
or you
No, the
tried.
chip is fine, but you got to hit it with pace.
make
Yep.
sure
You
it
got-
lands.
you
Make
gotta
sure,
see-
make sure it lands in
There's
the net.
two defenders. You see they're coming. Hit the ball
Lord
with
God,
pace.
son.
Wow. Nice little run.
That would have livened up this game a lot more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, England's been doing better this whole half.
Yeah.
There it is.
England has one coming, man.
I think I
hope
saw a
so.
stat like
another extra
80% of England's goals have been scored on free kicks or penalties,
Oh my God,
or
set
on
piece
set
team.
pieces.
that IKEA tweet about. that
Oh
was just
yeah,
real.
getting his revenge.
That was
Yeah.
Is that?
brilliant.
Did we ever find out that was
It's-
real or
It's
not?
not real.
Oh, it's not?
No.
What's this
Oh,
tweet?
what?
damn
Tweet?
it.
It was McGuire tweeted
was
about
great
building IKEA furniture, and he's like, "One day I'll have my revenge."
It was brilliant.
Yeah,
The other one though, where he's talking to some girl and
that was a
That's
great.
that was
good.
fun.
That was a
Nice.
great meme.
And even like the England players were getting in on it too. Like
Yeah.
Kyle Walker has.
Didn't Kyle Walker was the one that tweeted it out, like
Probably.
for the first time. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was a great one that I guess now makes a lot more sense. Where it was McGuire is England, the woman is the World Cup final, and the woman in the back is Croatia.
Ooh, that's foul.
Yeah, really got in between them there.
Back to the thing about Ronaldo.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
What else is there for him to do at Madrid?
Well, it's a great point, but you leave a legacy.
He's already their all-time scorer.
He's been already a nomad in a way, and so to me, I'm like, just stay and then finish up the career, and since it's going to end anyway. But Juve, to me, it's just not as status-rich of a club to move to there. In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
Where they're at now.
Italian soccer's certainly taken.
It's not what it was in the
Yeah.
90s, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But
If this was 90s Juve, yeah.
I would argue that I think he's looking to win it in multiple countries. Like he's won the
England.
Champions League and the
Premier
title in England. He's
Right.
now done it in Spain. What are his alternates? He goes to France, which he's going to just join PSG, and
Right.
that's it.
Yeah.
He's not going to win the Champions League. Or
Neymar wouldn't want him there probably.
yeah, or he goes to Germany. You know what I mean?
No,
And
he
won't play.
wouldn't work at Germany. He wouldn't work at Bayern.
So his
They had
only
to break
option
his
You
leg
really
gotta
is
buy in at
first
Bayern.
his
4
only
games.
option is to go to Italy and stay with big clubs, or go back to Portugal and
No, he's not
and-
ready to do that
and
yet.
retire.
Well, there was talk about him going back to Manchester. If he'd gone back to Manchester, but
Apparently
your
they
point
didn't
is
want him.
great, Fabio. This idea of winning on multiple continents,
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
I think he likes
I
that.
like
I
that.
think he likes that concept of being known as being able to go to different places and exert his dominance.
Especially if we can
LeBron it.
assume his his type of personality based on
Yeah.
the years
Yeah.
of watching him.
I think we
you know,
can.
We have a pretty
Yeah.
good sample size there. But a player like Messi, on the other hand, you'd assume that he would just live out his days at
Yeah,
Barcelona.
I think
That's true.
He's
He's fine there.
Ooh, good.
Ooh.
because we can't. Oh.
Almost.
That'll always be something he has
Dire
over
again.
Messi. It's like I won the league.
Yeah.
I won the Champions League in multiple countries.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I win.
Euro 2016.
Win
Win a Euro, Messi. Win a Euro.
It's very correlative to
Take that.
Nadal and Federer, right? Federer is Messi, Nadal is Ronaldo. It's the flashier guy. Everyone thought Messi was unquestionably the best, and Ronaldo came in and challenged him, and he essentially eclipsed him. And Nadal in ways has eclipsed Federer.
Definitely on clay.
On clay.
Just not today. Joseph's saying that Juve his agent offered him to Man U and PSG, but they didn't want him. His age. I know, especially Premier League is a running league.
Yeah.
Serie A, you can.
He's
rest
getting
a little
older,
more.
yeah, for sure.
Plus, there's no other than Bayern. There's no other team that's more guaranteed to just live in the quarterfinals of the Champions League year after year than Juventus. Like they're guaranteed to get that far.
Yeah.
He'll win that league hands down. That's
Hey, easy.
but at Bayern you got to buy in a little
There's
bit.
no guarantee he's going to win that league.
You think Roma's gonna make a push? Napoli, now that they're gutted, that their manager and one of their best players is gone.
Yeah, that's true. We picked up Kluivert, though. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, he's supposed to be good,
yeah.
huh? For cheap.
Patrick Kluivert?
Yeah.
His
Is
kid.
it Patrick?
Are you serious?
His-
Kluivert?
His kid.
His son.
Oh, he was
son,
going to
his
say,
son.
man. I was
His
like,
son.
my mind went in someplace else.
Patrick.
Yeah. Did you get Gibril Cisse?
Aston Villa to Roma.
Wow, I'm old enough that Kluivert has a son who's playing in the. God damn it, I hate this. All
Well,
right.
he's like,
Somebody
and
said that
And he's
to
good.
us,
It's
about-
Justin, right?
About Weah
Justin,
the
that's
other
right.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
His
LeBron passes to his son for an NBA basket, I'll have lived too long.
Yeah.
Bronny, Braun and Bronny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bron to Bronny.
I mean, Bronny will be in the league in what, 3 years?
I can't call a grown man Bronny. Sorry,
Bronny.
I just can't do it. I'm not going to do it.
He's tiny little man who's probably already 6'1" and
Yeah.
bigger than Pickford and
Bigger than Pickford. I think most newborns are bigger than
Yeah.
tiny Pickford.
That's brilliant.
No, it's like that's Manute Bol's son. Have you guys seen this kid?
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Manute
No.
Bol's son.
How big is he?
How tall
But that's his name? Bobo?
No, it's not.
No.
Is that his first name? I don't know.
Bunny
I
Bobo.
honestly don't know his first name, but I just know he's Manute Bol's son. He looks
Wow.
exactly the same as his dad,
How big is
and
he?
he's huge.
It's probably Manute just lying about his age.
How do you even spell Manute?
M-A-N-U-T.
It's
It is
Bobo.
It is Bobo?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Right on the nose.
There you go.
7'3". How old is he?
He was like 18.
And how tall was Manute?
Here you go. Look at that run on the left. Is that Mertens?
7'7".
Feed the beast.
Nope.
Oh.
Jesus.
Yikes.
Remember when I said he's a man of great ability?
Looks like
That
70.
was not.
I don't trust a man with
I
two
think
color
it's
hair. I just don't. I don't trust a man with highlights anymore. Not 2018.
No Spice Boys.
Oh God.
Is that why Mexico lost?
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, that hair.
I don't know why.
What are they? I mean, who knows what they were thinking, but
Romania did that, right? In 90
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
something.
someone came up to me and was like, "Oh, well, they should have focused more on the field and less on their hair." And I'm like, "Are you kidding? Like, are you ever met with anybody that plays sports before? I mean, that's just not even part of anyone's thinking. That's the most asinine thing I've ever heard."
Master Stroke 01 asks, "Who did each of you have to win the World Cup at the start?" So who was your
Argentina.
insider for the Galaxy right here? He's got all the best intel.
that's
he's
right.
he's the man. Who'd you have, Gabby?
I think I had Spain.
Wow.
I had Brazil.
I had France actually, so.
I had France.
All right. Well,
yeah.
they learned not to tell the truth
But-
while we were
Yeah, I
admitting
know,
some
right?
embarrassing
No,
info.
that's true.
I had Croatia. Honestly, I picked Croatia.
I think I can show you. I took a picture of my bracket, but I had France Argentina in the final. So
I had France.
there you go.
Argentina.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't have Argentina anywhere near the finals.
Yeah, no, I have them.
Because they barely qualified. In
Yeah.
my mind, they were lucky to
Which
qualify.
is fair.
Yeah, and that's why I thought they weren't getting close. I thought Portugal had an outside shot, for real.
Yeah.
Brazil, I didn't give any credit to because I just don't trust Neymar. I just don't.
Yeah. Brazil was a team I just never really understood.
I think I read something that statistically that Brazil defensively was one of the best in the tournament.
Statistically,
It's
Neymar
just
played a great tournament too.
Attacking
Yeah, it's interesting.
depth, though.
Stats
I mean,
are
I
yeah.
didn't.
deceiving.
I didn't really see it.
I was
So I
hoping
saw
for
the
it.
names, but I just didn't really feel
Yeah.
like it was gonna mesh.
With Brazil?
Yeah, that's always their problem.
I would have liked to see if they could have meshed if Neymar didn't try to do everything. You know, like he was just. We talked about. Someone asked about Messi or Ronaldo maybe being disappointing. Neymar. I don't think. I think we argued that they were not. Neymar was hugely disappointing. I mean, he literally hurt his team the way he was trying to play and dribble when he would bring the ball to a standstill at midfield and then look at 4 guys and go, let me try and dribble past them, beats one, and then dives on. You know what I mean? Like that hurt.
ISO ball. Essentially playing ISO ball. Don't make no sense.
I thought you were going to talk about I think it was the first game when he stood there with the ball at his feet and let the defender like push him in the back like a few times. Like
he like lets defenders catch up so he can try to beat him again. It's like
it's the World Cup, not a club game, man. See, no one's in the middle.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah, you're not playing Khan in the French league.
Yeah,
exactly. I think that was the worst move he could have made to go to PSG. Only financially great.
Coddle him.
They call him, and there's no competition for PSG, really. It's going to be Nantes. Like, it's none of these teams are going to make him better by challenging him. Oof. And I think if you're a great player, you want to go to a league that challenges you. I think Cristiano at Manchester United, that really like hardened him and to move on to the next thing.
Well, that's when he won his first Player of the Year.
Right.
Oh my God!
He laid off. But would you say that the Spanish league challenges Real Madrid and Barcelona?
Well, the fact you have someone
besides Atletico,
when they play each other, this is better.
Yeah.
This is fast.
To the right.
He's gonna play the. Great ball.
Mertens.
Not again, Mertens.
Oh!
What a nice save.
Good volley, though.
Big save by little man right there.
Come on,
Big save, little man.
Yeah.
Come on.
That was a hell of a strike, too.
Yeah, that was hit.
That was the pass. That was always the pass.
What a play.
You saw that run.
Wow. Flick. Oh, that was...
They should be up 3.
Champagne football.
Where was
I like how he
this
waited, then played it.
Where was this against France? I guess
Boom.
Conte was
seriously.
Oh, they weren't playing England.
Oh, yeah. That's the strike of someone who's already scored in the game. Going, let me
That's a great save.
It's well hit, though.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Well hit. He didn't send it soaring.
No, he did well to get that little arm outstretched. Little baby infant arm.
His little T-Rex arm. Oh.
No, but my point about the Spanish league is, the thing I don't like about it is, it's the same thing every year, right? It's Real Madrid or Barcelona are going to win the league, and they're going to win it by 30 points.
Fabio, Atletico has come on in the last few years.
That's true.
Challenge.
There's always been Atletico's helped, but otherwise it's Villarreal shows up for a little bit and then they fall off. Right. Sevilla shows up for a little bit then they fall off.
Right.
But there's never really a true competition. And I'm hating the way that Italy is starting to be like that with Juventus just taking it every year. The Premier League, for their credit, is the only league that consistently there's a top 4 or 5 that every year are battling for it. And
absolutely.
It makes it better and more fun to watch for that reason. And I don't understand how it doesn't translate into success in the Champions League more often, right?
I think
having that constant competition.
I really don't think that the quality in the Spanish league is higher top to bottom.
Really?
In terms of
you mean players or teams?
In terms of players.
Okay. You're thinking
I think the player quality is better in La Liga, top to bottom, than what you get with Stoke.
So you think Eibar versus Stoke, Eibar would give him a clinic?
I think that's why you see these Spanish teams do so well in Europa League against more varied competition.
No, but it's really only Sevilla who does so well in the Europa League. I can't think of another Spanish league that's really challenged. Villarreal was there a little bit in the Europa League, but then got eliminated pretty early on.
It seems like every 10 years you get, like Valencia was 2003, 2004 when they won, and then it was like 10 years later we got.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Hazard.
Score.
Ooh!
All right, okay. That was nice.
Finally put this thing away.
You went near post too.
Now that was a very English finish. The way he rode the challenge a little bit. I know you like it when Neymar does that, and then just buried it, right?
I don't mind it when there's actually purpose.
When it needed to happen there.
When Neymar's standing in the middle of the field and letting a defender do that to him and not playing the ball, that's.
Yep.
Stand it.
Let's see that replay. Comes back.
Who gets caught out flat right there? What are you doing trying to reach for that ball? You know it's behind you. Is that Dyer again? Or was
it was whatever.
Got punished for it.
Is it Stones?
No, it's not Stones.
Jones? Phil Jones?
Yeah, I think it's
Jones, yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't dive and try to use his head.
Make that face. Great. That's a great finish.
Yeah, near post. Let's
open up the body and
yeah. Is that your move?
You fake that you're going to the far post.
That's a great move.
Hit it short.
That's a move of a tired defender. Throwing that foot out there like that.
Well, there's Belgian fans are still excited about it.
Yeah, you're a good man, Charlie Brown.
So England goes from we're going to win the World Cup to 4th place.
That's pretty sad. A question for Roca. Who has been the top babyface and heel of the tournament? Oh, some wrestling terms coming in here. All right.
Shit,
By the way, your Twitter handle is it took me a minute to get it, but I was like, when I saw The Rock, and it immediately clicked, and I was like, that's great.
The Roca says, yeah. It just said, it just spoke.
Babyface and heel.
I don't know who the heel has been in this tournament. There hasn't really been anybody like overtly, like Ramos didn't do anything.
Neymar, maybe?
Yeah, Neymar's probably the closest to a heel I would say throughout the tournament.
What are these terms?
Babyface is like a classic good guy, and the heel is classic bad guy.
Yeah.
So like, who's been the Roddy Piper Hogan? Oh, for a young, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know who's been the babyface though. To be honest with you, I don't know if anyone's been like really good.
Maybe Mbappe, like
maybe.
No, but he's had his moments.
I don't want to give a French guy.
He's had his he's had his Neymar moments.
Modric, sure. Yeah, okay, sure. I like that. He's like Daniel Bryan. He's like the guy who comes along and he's a smaller guy. You don't think he's going to do it. He just keeps going and going. He's got a good motor. Yeah, I would say that's right.
Someone says Otamendi's a heel. Dirty player.
Oh,
he is.
Yeah.
Okay,
he also
fair.
has that face that's just
Fair.
He's a heel face.
Is Matarazzo still?
Yeah, he is for sure.
Son of a bitch.
He's got to be a manager somewhere, right?
No, he's
In hell. I hate that guy.
He was
for
at
what
the
he did.
tournament.
Was he?
at this tournament.
Yeah.
Why?
FIFA pays people to go.
Yeah, they paid Maradona.
Oh, was he playing in that Legends Cup
I think
thing?
so. Yeah.
Legend.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Do you remember that he
No.
actually played at Everton, Matarazzi?
Did he really?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
I did not remember.
Was he too-
1 year.
Was he too much for Everton?
Yeah, like they were like, hey, look, we love
You need to
fouling
calm
everyone,
it
but
down,
this is insane. I think it was just one of those things that just his game just didn't translate, and he didn't look settled. And I mean, he's
Are they going to go for
You
3
start
here?
running in. You start running in.
Oh, that's too
Yeah.
short.
oh
Good
Just
defense.
leave it for an injury.
yeah, you just sold your man short there.
What timeline are we in right now? Mixed disc group plays for Man City, Materazzi, Everton,
Yeah.
like bizarro world.
Oh, it's the darkest. Trust me.
Yeah.
The dark.
It's been the darkest since a certain time.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
be real.
fair. That's fair. US didn't qualify for the World Cup.
Happy things.
Hey, I mean,
Happy
you're
things,
talking about
man.
dark timelines. I just had to bring that
I didn't
back
say
up.
dark timelines. I said which one. Just dark. Darkest.
Higolini says English league is more challenging, grueling, and competitive than any other league. I mean, maybe that's the flip side of the coin that we haven't talked about, is that
you wear
you
your
beat
players
each other
down.
up.
Yeah,
that's fair.
You do guys, Premier League does play significantly more games than other leagues, which takes
Because
a
of like the
toll.
league,
Really
the
doesn't
league
have
cup.
doesn't have a winter break either.
Yeah, but I argue that
December.
not having a winter break is actually a benefit. Like whenever Italy comes off of their winter break, they play horribly. But Germany's winter break is like 1 week, and they continue to play well. And I think the winter break is a bit of a problem. You kind of lose form, and you get out of rhythm.
I mean, that's fair, especially when you're in that part of the season
Yeah.
where you are at full strength.
And it's a crucial part of the Champions League as well. I don't know.
I just selfishly like waking up like on holiday mornings and just having a nice
Oh,
it's
game
nice.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. How dare they want to spend time with their
Yeah.
families?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it 2 years ago? Liverpool had that real heavy Christmas break with playing Man City and like over that. I was like home in Virginia, and I enjoyed the hell out of that,
Yeah,
even though
that's
they were,
great.
Oh yeah,
I know how
remember
people
that.
feel when I have to work on the 4th of July at a Galaxy game, and I'm like, man, why can't I just be at home? And I'm like, well, now
right.
Think of just all about the fireworks though, right? You guys do
haven't
fireworks
seen
after the
I
game?
haven't seen
Aw.
I was
No
stepping
fireworks?
downstairs interviewing players. I can see them.
Anytime you don't want to, you let me know. I'm happy to step in for you while you take your July 4th off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Zlatan, tell me something. Does Donovan ever
I
still?
live downtown, so I get a fireworks show until 2 in the morning.
Yeah, sometimes in
Every
October or
Every
around
night.
the.
Someone setting off fireworks? Oh no, someone's being shot. Never mind. Let's move on.
No, you learn to tell the difference between the two sounds.
Because the shot sound ends with somebody screaming.
That's why.
Talking about happy things.
Darn
I
You guys went down that path. I just moved it forward.
Now my deep
Never.
thoughts don't look that serious
I'll
anymore.
never
We
live
got-
downtown, man. No way.
Great start to the weekend.
Terry from our Detroit resident says gunshots don't echo. So got real pretty quick. Gunshots don't echo.
What were you saying about? Were you asking about Landon or something?
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna ask.
We had to bring it back.
My darkest timelines.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Landon Donovan.
Does he still come around to the games and stuff?
What does he do with his Mexico T-shirt after this?
Yeah. Is he allowed still in the
The
stadium?
Mexico team store.
That's so
I don't know if they return.
never hated him.
They don't have a return policy?
Not for him.
It was the first time ever when he put that on there. I was like, I don't mind that Klinsmann left him off. Now, for the first time ever, because he wore that shirt.
I mean, yeah, it was. Can't believe it. It was silly.
Gerard in a Manchester United shirt is equivalent.
Yeah.
You saw that photo of him when he was a kid in the Everton kit, right?
It's a bad.
Yeah, you're a kid.
He's a kid, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm sure his mom dressed him. It's not like he chose.
Right.
I mean, there was a lot of people who were very upset, especially like people within the club when he did that. I mean, I had a lot of conversations with people, and I'm like, listen, like I feel like as a Mexican American, I can support both clubs.
Sure, because you're Mexican.
We have that right. We have that right.
Right.
Yeah.
But you, as leading goal scorer of the U.S. national team, don't have the right, especially when he went after Bocanegra.
Yeah.
Like, do you know your culture? I was like, bro, chill out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what.
I'm glad you can speak Spanish. I'm glad you can speak Spanish.
Yeah.
But cut it out.
Bocanegra was like, oh, why are you doing this? And he's like, well, you know, if you were more in touch with your culture.
Nope. Wrong. Wrong approach.
Wrong move to make.
I'd have tested out Terry's
White person.
shot him and see if they actually
Does Donovan have any Mexican heritage?
No, I mean, he grew up playing in
L.A.?
In L.A.
I'm sure he's
you know,
slept with
Does that
Mexican
make-
women. That's about the closest.
Does that make me Mexican?
Dempsey would have more of a right coming from Texas,
yeah.
than Donovan.
Both speak Spanish.
And Dempsey wouldn't.
Grimash is asking, what do we think about VAR? Do we like it?
Yes.
One U.S.
I think we talked about last time.
Change the game.
I liked it.
Yeah, I like it. I think this is the best usage I've seen of it in any tournament.
Great point. Yep.
And Master Stroke says, you guys follow the MLS and have teams, and do most Americans care more about foreign leagues than their own? He's curious because he watches MLS games and he is from the UK.
Yeah,
really?
I mean, there are people that
Okay.
do that.
What?
I get a lot of followers who are people that follow that. There's a lot of people. There's like a betting community as well in other countries.
There we go. It's the gamblers who move the
There's
needle.
gambling. There's gambling involved.
That's next level soccer addiction.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think
UK.
it's always a process.
That's like us watching the Australia League. That's like a weird, the A-League, like way down at
Yeah, I'm gonna totally get up to watch Sydney Wanderers.
Sydney Herald at 3 a.m.
Versus,
Who else
versus Melbourne Wanderers.
Melbourne.
The walkabouts.
Yeah.
The kangaroo. There's a
Kangaroo.
kangaroo. Somebody's
The
got
Roos,
kangaroos.
the Roos, and the
Jets.
Wombats.
There's the Newcastle Jets.
Yes.
That's a team, I think.
That's a cool
The
name.
Hawks,
Yeah, right?
Jets,
Jets.
probably some
That's my
snakes.
team now.
I saw this musical. Wait, I saw this musical.
The Crocs, the
The
Crocs.
spiders. So that's good.
Yeah. Wombats.
The sharks, right?
And Master Stroke, follow Adam on Twitter. He's your Galaxy insider. So
Yes.
you want to know about MLS, he's your guy.
Yeah.
You want to know about Serie A, he's your guy.
I don't really do Twitter though, so just follow this.
Oh!
Just follow him around town. Just drive out of here and
Ask him just random questions about Serie A.
Yeah.
Fabio has to answer you.
Can we fire Ben Olsen? Is it time? You know it's
I mean,
time
yeah.
for DC United to fire Ben Olsen.
Ben Olsen has probably
I'm so sick
one
of
the
it.
cushiest jobs.
I'm so sick
great
of it.
Dick's commercial though he had back in the day. Yeah.
Does he have tenure? Is that why he's not?
He's
I think so.
Yeah, basically, feels that way.
Waiting for him to.
As a DC United fan,
return.
since
That
the
was
beginning,
great.
Echeverri, Moreno, Bolivia,
Play him.
all of them. To see what the team has
see?
become.
Too short last time, too long this time.
It's weird because they have that new.
Oh,
stadium
good ball.
now.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
he was gonna be
the new
fine.
state, which took, 15 years to finally get?
Yeah, and
And
then
then-
you can't show games there during the daytime because
Right.
it looks into the sun, so you can't televise.
This is
Well done.
Stupid.
Western Sydney Wanderers, Melbourne Victory, Perth Glory,
Glory.
Brisbane Roar.
Brisbane Roar, man.
That sounds like a command.
That's like the Minnesota. That's like Minnesota Wild.
Minnesota. Wow, that sounds like a
It's a hockey team.
Yeah.
strip club and Minnesota's
Heyo.
hottest.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Donovan.
adult.
This Friday night
Minneapolis, great town.
at the Minnesota Wild, Stormy Daniels.
Minneapolis, great. St. Paul, nah.
Nah.
Terry, you spent some time over there in Twin Cities? No.
God, no.
Not
the worst place I've ever had to travel to.
Is there a Minnesota team?
Yeah, Minnesota United.
Get out of here.
Yeah, they're called the Loons. They play a bird call every single time they go on the field. It's like,
Stop talking. Just
Is
stop
that-
talking.
yeah, I mean, I don't
It's
know.
very
if that's
Duck
it.
Dynasty of you.
That's a real
Accurate to
thing.
what a loon sounds
I have
like?
no idea.
Have you had a like? Because the league has expanded over the last 10 years with these interesting. Do you like this idea of Beckham sliding in? Do you like the idea of these other?
He got killed in Miami.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Miami
FC,
is a really tough sports town, and they have kind of shell shock because they gave this really dumb deal to the Marlins where they gave up all of the land and now they can't tax it, and the Marlins are free to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So like people are afraid, and Beckham is trying to build something, and he's had difficulty securing land. It has to be close enough to Miami that they still have connection to the city. So I mean, it's tough. I mean,
plus the legacy of Miami Fusion in that city is not a positive legacy. Even though you had Valderrama and all those guys on there, it's still like crashed and burned.
I never really remembered that story. What happened? Why did the Fusion fail in Miami? What was the deal?
People stopped going to the
people
games.
stopped going to the games. Same with the Fusion and the Tampa Bay Mutiny.
Yeah, the Mutiny, right?
As well, yeah. So
Florida
I mean,
is a tough sports state.
It's a tough sports state, but you can have success. I mean, look at Orlando.
Yeah,
they have a lot of success.
Oh yeah, Orlando.
In terms of attendance or
yeah, I mean other stuff happens.
But they also came out. Florida. They also came out and had some good good seasons, and so people were down to go see them.
Yeah, it's just about finding the connection, finding the right place. I mean, you look at what the league is trying to do, is trying to be a little bit more targeted, I think.
Right.
As opposed to Chicago Fire playing their games in wherever it is.
Evanston,
like
Illinois or something.
Ridgeview.
Yeah, Ridgeview.
Which is like a 2-hour drive from Chicago, and you have to take 8 buses to get there. I mean, that's not good.
Yeah.
Should we? I don't know why, but I guess we'll look at some stats on this one, just for posterity, right? 2-0, yeah.
It's too bad. England played a lot better in the second half.
They did.
Yeah. The first is just, it's too bad they couldn't get one in.
They didn't have creativity at the end.
This team, I think they have nothing to be ashamed about. I don't know. I think this is arguably one of the harder matches you would ever have to play. If you imagine just the emotional ride that you're on playing in a semifinal and then losing that and then having to find something within you to get back up because you're still in a World Cup game. I mean, that has to be so tough.
Is that Henri?
So challenging.
Yeah.
What?
He's a Belgian.
He's the Belgian forward coach.
I can't.
I mean, it's
weird. It's bizarre. It's a team he played before already, but also didn't care about that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strange situation to be in, and I mean, this England team can go and hold their heads up high. They should be very proud of how they did.
I think so.
They're a young team, so they can build for the Euros and build for the next.
They haven't really failed this unit before. You know, like this is their first kind of go as their own team and not.
And I think they overachieved this tournament, and I think the problem was that as soon as they started overachieving a little bit, everybody jumped on the bandwagon, and the press really made it have to be more.
He really is small.
Yeah, he's a tiny.
Good God Almighty!
Tiny boy.
Where's Courtois should come over and pat him on the head like.
Oh, I hope so. They just look down.
Yeah.
He gets on his knees to talk to him.
He just picks him up.
If this is it for Belgium, and I know maybe in 2 years they could be at the Euros and do well, but if this were to be it for this golden generation of Belgium, how would you look back on that legacy? Would you say like, okay, third place, or
no? I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. That's why I really wanted a Belgium-Croatia final, because I think both of those countries their golden generations are peaking at the same time. And they have players who are all young or not youngish, and they're dominant in their fields respectively. And I don't think they're going to have another opportunity for a long time, right? A France, a Germany, they go through cycles, whereas Belgium's cycle is much larger, much longer. Same with Croatia's. Smaller countries, and so like this was their time. If they were going to do something and achieve something great, it was now, right? They had the opportunity in the Euros and they messed it up. Here was their time. I don't know if next Euros they're going to be able to do it because they're going to get another 2 years older, right? So I feel bad for them. I think I was really hoping they would win it for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, it's great to finish third. I think it's something they can always hold their head on, but I did have higher expectations for this Belgium team.
Yeah, it's a disappointing result, but they played well throughout the tournament. The one game they didn't quite get there was the one against France. And that may speak more to France's defensive abilities, which people aren't talking enough about.
That's true.
As opposed to Belgium's inefficiency. So I think we're going to find out. And it's interesting, if France beats Belgium and beats Croatia, 2 golden generations, as definitely a soccer power, it'll show you once again that these kind of more traditional soccer powers just kind of have that little bit of an edge on these ones that are popping up.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But the Croatia victory would be incredible.
Do you guys, serious question, do you enjoy watching France? Because
I do.
I'm only asking because they have so many great attacking players, and Deschamps kind of has them defense first. Like, you know, he uses Pogba and Conte, like really making sure that they're, like, defensively, you look at all their matches, they haven't, other than the Argentina match, they haven't exploded for goals, really. It's been like a 1-0, 2-1, those types of matches.
It's the type of situation when you're watching a game and you remember it back a few days later, you think about the specific moments. I think that's where France are entertaining. They're a moments team. You think about the passes, you think about the runs that Mbappe can make, even some of the play that Giroud has. You know, you think about Pavard and his shot against Argentina, but in terms of actually when you're sitting down there watching that game, I mean, it's not as exciting and attacking, I think, as you'd expect.
Looking at the lineup, you get more excited than when you actually kind of see them.
I think that's a great point. So it's the excitement of it that makes me enjoy them, because the potential of something breaking out that's magical is always there, and so far I enjoy it. And you do get them. Yeah.
But from Deschamps' perspective, I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Pogba and Conte are by and far, so far, I mean, maybe against Croatia we'll see how that changes, because Rakitic and Modric are great, but they've dominated the midfield of every game they've played, right? They've, possession-wise, aggressiveness, they've been in control. So why mess that up by trying to push Pogba forward? You know what I mean? I don't know.
And he's judged on winning or losing, and no manager or Euro or World Cup winning manager has ever been slandered for the way they played. Even Greece, no one begrudges them. No one says like, oh, yeah, but you won ugly. I mean,
more than anything else.
Just winning. That's all he's going to be judged on when it comes.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like Chelsea where it's like, great, you won the league, but you're boring. You know, or you didn't win Champions League too. Like, no, these major tournaments, there's only 4 years. You know, so you win.
What you gotta do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at a couple stats on this one just so we can see it all. Then we'll talk more about tomorrow, the fun stuff. All right. Gabi, you gonna get your Trisket on? No, you can join.
I'm plugging
You don't. No hands in pockets. You can be right up here and you can do this. All right. What do we think? Did possession change? Which way did it change?
Yeah, that makes sense to me now.
More attempts on target for England.
It's incredible.
More passes, higher percentage. But the theme of this tournament has been doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Really doesn't matter. We've seen so many teams with less possession do more meaningful. I mean, we saw the 3 Belgium counterattacks we saw in the second half there.
Yeah.
Probably better goal scoring opportunities, even the ones they missed, than England had overall throughout the whole match. Let's see how average positions.
Yeah, even though we said that in the second half, England picked it up and actually started doing better. I mean, I would argue that Belgium still outshone them, especially on the offensive end.
Let's see, when the subs came on at the end, Belgium came a little more defensive. When they brought on Vermaelen, that makes sense. Now let's look at England. And how did their subs do?
Pretty similar.
Yeah. What did you guys make of the tournament for Rashford, Lingard, Dele Alli, Sterling? Those, I guess, maybe attacking creators, if that's the word we want to use.
Rashford, I can't really talk. He didn't get enough time to really demonstrate himself. Lingard, I think, was well. I think I kind of expected more from Dele Alli. We didn't talk about him enough because he wasn't visible enough. He didn't create enough chances to do enough.
We're talking about moments. I don't have a real Dele Alli moment that sticks out in my head as something special.
Yeah, and I thought as England was going along, I thought Dele Alli and I thought Sterling were going to carry the action more as they were facing these more defensive-oriented teams, so they would break them down a little better, and that didn't happen, and that was unfortunate.
Harry Kane today, what did you guys think? Good, bad?
I mean, he had his moments. I mean, he had if he could have connected with a few crosses, whether the crosses need to be better or he need to be in better positions. I mean, he had chances. He was better in this game, I think, than against Croatia.
Yeah.
Certainly more visible.
Yeah.
I think the heat map speaks to that, right?
Yeah.
This is a better position, and we saw he had chances. He didn't necessarily score, but he at least was there. Whereas in the 2 games previous, maybe we didn't even really know where he was, and his heat map was kind of erratic looking.
Yeah, I think you saw a more focused performance from him, and I mean, still tough. He just can't find the back of the net.
And let's look at his opposite number 9 here. Lukaku. How was he today for you guys?
Stretched out, just like, I mean, you see that, like.
Barely in the box.
Yeah, like this is a problem, right? Like that your heat map actually demonstrates that you spend a significant amount of time in your own third.
He's not mobile enough to get back, defend, and then be up here also. He's got to restrict his movement maybe a little more. He's not. Plus, do you really need him to defend in a third place match where you, basically they're probably trying to get him goals, right? They're probably trying to see if they could get him 2 goals and maybe get the goal and boot or something like that. I'm a little perplexed. Also, that poor touch he had and that miscontrol in the box.
Twice, I think. Twice.
Twice.
So does
Expect more.
Kane pretty much won the golden boot then,
unless
right?
Griezmann can get
3? I think Griezmann's at 3, right?
Griezmann or Mbappe, I think, would need a hat trick.
Just
you know,
the top.
we can.
But I think they have assists.
Yeah,
oh, right. So they would be.
Harry Kane has things.
He doesn't assist.
That's not his thing.
So
he just takes goals from people.
We see Lukaku is really the only one.
So he's 4. Oh, I see.
Players that are still in
Griezmann and Mbappe.
And Mbappe.
Okay. So
no Croatian players.
So
really spread out goal-scoring offense.
I think there may. Yeah, that's about it. Mandzukic would need just the 4 goals.
Neymar, did he score?
2?
1?
Or he had 1? He had 1 for sure.
Okay.
2.
That's look at those 3 names. Look at those 3 names: Neymar, Luis Suarez, Aguero. 2 goals in the entire tournament.
Just like
as much
Andres
as Modric.
Grunquist. Yeah,
as much as Modric does. I guess both of his were penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coutinho had 2.
Yerry Mina.
2 beautiful ones too.
Probably on the move this summer as well. So yeah, this was Lukaku's chance to. I'm actually surprised they brought him off. I thought that they'd be doing everything they could. So maybe Griezmann or Mbappe with a hat trick could happen. There hasn't been a hat trick in the World Cup since '66. Sir Jeff Hurst, I believe that was. So be some pretty good company to join. But
what's the record for most goals in a tournament?
Jules Fontaine, right, had 30. I'm looking at Terry. She's going, no, I'm not looking it up.
But it's not really going to be. It's not really going to be fair in 2024, right? When they have more games to play.
Yes,
right.
Agreed.
So you can't really compare, I guess, over time.
They didn't have an asterisk.
Yeah, like really, was it 38 game season versus when it used to be 40?
Jules Fontaine?
No, Miroslav Klose.
No, that's all time. You're talking about in a single tournament?
In a single tournament, yeah, that's all the goals.
It's got to be Fontaine in 50.
Shout out to Miroslav Klose.
Yeah, Miroslav Klose.
Germany could have used him this tournament.
13 in
58, Jules Fontaine?
Well done, Sebby.
World Cup trivia. Somewhere Mr. Mask wanted to ask me that trivia question. I had him.
Sounds like a Will Ferrell. Jules Fontaine. Greatest soccer player ever.
Yeah. Jules Fontaine.
Jules Fontaine.
Yeah, we should get a Fontaine, put it up here. We can put some fake names around him too. Would totally sell it. All right, the final tomorrow. Quick preview. Anything that stand out to you, or what part of the game are you guys going to look at? Is there a tactical battle you have in mind?
The midfield. I'm really interested to see if Rakitic and Modric can push past Conte and Pogba, who are defensively a great duo. So I'm really interested in that.
This is going to be a fun game.
This was the formation I predicted, which I think is each of their last formations that they've kind of stuck with. So what are you saying? You're saying Pogba and Conte is what you're looking at versus these ones?
Yeah, I think their job, especially Conte's job, is probably going to be to just shadow Modric, right, and track him down and make sure he cannot be effective.
Would you go old school and just like man mark him the whole game? I mean,
you don't do that anymore, but I think
every once in a while you still see it.
Yeah, people don't do that anymore, but I think in this case, given how important Modric is to the team, it might be a waste of Conte's talents to defend everything else as well, to have a man mark, but it might benefit France overall.
Do you think this is the formation they'll use against Croatia?
What would you change? I think the only time they really changed is Matuidi and Tolisso. They've swapped. Giroud didn't start the opening match, but I think he started every match since then.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're changing anything around here. You know these guys are locked in.
Would you ever switch Mbappe and Giroud? See what he can do through the middle with his speed versus Giroud? Because Giroud does hold-up play.
I mean, you would like to get Mbappe, right?
Yeah.
Running at Lovren and V. Like, you feel like there might be an opportunity.
Wait, do you mean
there.
doing this instead? With
Are you
Mbappe
saying Griezmann
right
or
here?
Mbappe?
Yeah. I'm saying Mbappe in the middle there, and drop Giroud.
Oh,
That-
just
Basically, yeah.
do one of those. Yeah,
One of those straight
right
swaps.
there. Yeah, just
I
know.
want
Just
your
a way
heat
to
map
match-
just
Yeah.
be bright red.
Yeah, yeah.
Just chill there.
06 had a solid tournament, I think. I'm interested to see how he goes up against Pavard. I think that's one of those like underrated type of matchups. I think it's all going to be about the midfield though. If you look at Conte and Pogba, and I mean, Conte can run for days, and Pogba's just been phenomenal this tournament.
Yeah, he's had a great tournament.
He's had a great tournament, but not in the way that I think everybody expected him to have a great tournament. In the sense
Not the way the Adidas ads make you
right,
think he's
like the
going
flashy
to.
player dribbling 3-4 guys, crazy shots. He's been just a workhouse, winning the ball and letting Mbappe and Griezmann go.
What holding midfielder has more haircuts
Yeah,
than
yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it's just maybe that's also it too, is because he's such a stylish guy that you kind of you expect you're used to your number 9s, number
Neymar's,
10s
right?
doing that. Yeah,
He's doing the exact opposite of what Neymar is doing. He's doing what's best for the team and not what's best just
Oh.
for his own personality and style.
Wow, Fabio,
Boy,
that's
you
deep
know
again.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Gunshot.
I'm not a fan
Hot
of
take.
Neymar.
Very active.
I'm not a
Gunshots
fan
don't
of
echo.
Neymar.
And you're a Brazilian fan, and you hate Neymar?
I'm not a Brazilian fan.
I thought you were a fan of Brazil.
No, I hate him more than most.
What's your national team?
Italy.
Italy. Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
It was
there's
the other guy. I'm sorry. The guy that was.
Oh,
here.
Omar.
Omar.
Omar
Yeah,
is a
Omar's a
Brazilian.
massive
I do
fan. Sorry about that.
I do call him Fabinho now that Liverpool.
do.
So I do that.
I also hate Brazil, so respect.
Perisic is also kind of. I feel like he's had a quietly good tournament.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we saw it
he's
last
had a
game,
good
but
tournament. I think I want to see how he can get up and down against Pavard. I think.
I don't think anyone on the Croatian side has had necessarily a bad tournament. So to me, that's
you can't afford to really.
that's what I'm
Right.
saying. And so I think that speaks volumes to why they're here.
This back four, good enough to deal with. Take your pick.
I think Lovren knows what to expect from Giroud, who's going to be playing back here. So, but I think he knows. He plays with him pretty often in the Premier League. I think, and he's a strong guy.
If you're
Lovren,
Croatian and going, all right, that's someone Lovren. You get Lovren on
handle.
Giroud.
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah.
let Mbappe near
He's
him
not
because
gonna
that's
he's
when.
not going to be pushed around. And Vida's not a small guy either. He's not going to
Yeah.
be pushed around either. So I think they can handle him. What I don't know they can handle is the speed of Mbappe, right?
Yeah.
They're not very fast, those
no
two.
one's been able to really.
Right.
No
so
one's.
Strinic is a fast guy, and I think so is, I don't know how to say his name.
Vrsaljko?
Vrsaljko. So maybe, but if Mbappe starts to push towards the middle, they're not going to be able to keep up with him. And if they push too far forward, looking for a goal, which is not really their style, but if they do that and leave too much space, that could be a problem.
Well, and you asked the question, which team is going to, like, both of these quartets of defenders are fantastic on both sides, right? So the question is, which team has the most offensive firepower to rattle that defense? And I think France is the taller task offensively than Croatia is. As much as I love Modric, Mandzukic is good, but Mbappe is a otherworld talent and could very well break this defense down in a way that nobody on Croatia can for France at this point, in my mind. And Lovren has been prone to make mistakes.
Yeah. This is the lineup you expect, right?
Yeah, I think I had picked both their last starting lineups.
Has Mandzukic always been in the middle?
Well,
I thought it was Rebic in the middle and Mandzukic on the outside.
I think Mandzukic has been leading the line. We can look at it if you want. We can look at average formation. Let's take a look. We've got. Come on, Fabio. Too
That
easy.
was
All
kind
right,
of
wanna
setting
look-
you up a little bit.
You want to look against England? Let's see what their listed formation was. It was that.
Mandzukic up top.
Let's do the average position because Rebic
All
always seems to
right.
be in the
Okay, you
middle.
don't. Jay doesn't believe
I
me.
mean-
All right. Yes. Okay.
Because all I remember of Rebic is he's constantly in the middle of the field winning the ball.
Perisic was
Yeah,
actually
okay.
the furthest forward. That's because he was making 4 or 5 of those back post runs in the second half that just carved England up. We can do another match too if you don't believe me, Fabio. We can do this all day, all day. You want to look against Russia?
No, I don't count Russia. let's do the Argentina game.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much he played in that game. Well, he scored in the 53rd minute, so.
That's how this
He
started.
scored the.
This looks
Oh,
like a
here we
pretty
go.
familiar lineup here. I don't know. You want to see the average?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
curious.
Okay.
Yes, he's in the middle again.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'll give you
So
this
he may
one.
line,
I think
he
the
may line
formation-
up on the side.
Yeah, I
watch
think the actual
drifts.
formation
Yeah.
is they're up three of them. I think are much more attacking in the midfield more than in the middle of the field rather than on the outside.
When I'm a manager, that's what I look for is a little bit of that fluidity where you can look at the formation, you go, oh, this is how they're on paper, but then you see from match to match that kind of interchangeability, and there's a comfort there. And that, as a defender, that's one of the worst things is when you think you kind of like go, all right, this is the guy I'm marking, and he's the best, and all of a sudden it's someone else, and then you start going, wait, am I out of position, or am I? You get caught dragged somewhere else because you start following the guy you think is going to be in your spot until all of a sudden he just drifts out, and then the next guy is in. And I think that's the sign of a team that's kind of in rhythm and is a little bit of comfort. Could be a problem for France.
I think it's something that causes issues, but France's defense they have not been tested, really, I think. I mean, they've dealt with every challenge that's been put in front of them, maybe save for, giving up goals against Argentina. But, I mean, it's a tough battle for Croatia.
Can we see the France lineup of games?
In their last few games?
Yeah. Not the lineups, just like the scores. Yeah, here, that. So
one by
you're
one
telling
goal.
me they haven't been challenged? I think they have been.
Aside from the
these
Argentina,
aside
from the Argentina game, I mean, they handled Uruguay very well.
And that's what I mean. They have been challenged.
Yeah,
because they've dealt with it.
They've dealt with every challenge they've faced.
To this point, but it hasn't been commanding. I mean okay, Muslera gave him a free goal, and they scored a great one.
Yeah.
But I mean, one goal margin. So even if you're comfortable, one little mistake, you know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of breathing room. Like, if they, God forbid, someone slips or whatever, you know what I mean?
That's fair.
So it's like, if they have one screw up, which they haven't had, like, you know what I mean? There's been no major screw up. Okay, maybe Argentina was a little lucky. Some of their goals were pretty phenomenal.
The Argentina game, I think, was
that was an anomaly.
One time I saw them look a little flustered.
Yeah.
And they responded.
Yeah, and every single game, I mean, Peru 1-0, Uruguay 2-0. I mean, these have been kind of commanding defensive performances.
Yes,
So
they looked
goals.
better.
Yeah, they've looked better and they've been kind of efficient.
Tight score lines, but still commanding.
Yeah.
And what you brought Fabio up earlier is right. Like, they're more a defensive team, what Didier is doing with them, and so it may be frustrating to watch, but it's certainly effective to get them into the final.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I'm putting you guys on the spot now. Gabi, come on back. And we missed you over here.
I've been here.
All right, you've had time. I've stalled long enough. Who wants to be the first one to give me their prediction for tomorrow?
You already
Sure,
said it.
France 3-1.
France?
Yeah, I think they will unsettle Croatia in ways that they have not confronted yet throughout the tournament.
All right, we got 1-3-1 for France.
I would say France 2-0.
2-0? Think defense is going to hold?
I think their defense will hold, and I think they'll get one goal earlier, and then Croatia will start to push, and they'll get a second.
Are you skipping yourself?
Yeah, I want to go last.
Croatia 3-2.
Ooh,
Wow.
Good call. I like that.
3-2, 5 goals?
I would like that, actually.
Sounds like a great game.
Yeah, right? France has shown that they can handle Umtiti and Varane with Lukaku, so they can shut him down. Can they do it with Mandzukic? I don't know. I think Mandzukic has been playing better this tournament than Lukaku consistently. Been more consistent. So, and Perisic, hard to deal with. That's what I'd like to see.
3-2 Croatia.
3-2 Croatia.
And that'd be great. I'd rather see that than what I'm going to say. 1-0 France. I mean, I think that.
But you want Croatia in your heart.
I mean, I want Croatia to win. I think that just deep down, this French team has been so good. I think it's going to be a boring game, and then they're going to be in command. They're going to get a goal from offset pieces and find a way to hold.
By the way, real quick, shout out to Jenny. Jenny Tate's been fantastic this whole tournament. I've really enjoyed her.
Speaking French?
Yeah, well, and her breakdown of stuff and talking about it. She seems knowledgeable. In the past, they've had sideline reporters who are like, oh, this is my job, so I'm doing this. She's way more on top of it than I've seen before. Sebi, I know you're going to give you a prediction. Who's going to wear? I want you to do the second prediction, which is who's going to wear the dark blue jersey. Is it going to be Croatia or is it going to be France?
It's going to be France is going to wear their blue.
Okay.
Who's home, technically?
France.
Okay.
And Croatia is going to wear their red and white checkered, which everyone wants to see them wear, right? You want to see. You hate it, don't you?
They're not going to wear it. You think they're going to wear the red and white?
Well, they'll have to, right?
Yeah, France wears blue. They have to wear it.
And how could France
What's
not
their
wear
third
blue?
kit?
Alayla blue.
Yeah.
Is there a third kit? Is there a third international
No,
kit?
no, they don't get a third.
Do they get a yellow? Wasn't that Belgium? Wasn't that the
That's
third?
their second.
That's their second kit?
Yeah.
Oh, because I haven't seen it the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have they been home for every one of their
No,
games?
they have 3 kits.
Yeah, I thought they did.
They have the
I thought
black,
had
the
a red
red,
one.
and the gold.
Yeah.
Don't they not?
No. International, you only get 2.
You only get the 2?
You only get 2.
I thought it was only 2.
Yeah.
I thought they had a
Belgium has
red.
black kit?
Don't they have, they have a black kit?
They have in the
They
past.
have in the past. I don't think they have one
Terry?
now.
Oh,
No,
boy.
you may be completely right.
Oh, wait.
Terry.
So
All
it's,
right.
it's only in the like Champions League and the
Yeah.
regular leagues that they have a third kit? I didn't know that.
All right, my prediction:
Yeah.
2-1 after extra time. Croatia.
Oh.
Croatia. They're gonna go to extra time one more time. They're
surprised
gonna
no one
one
said
more time.
penalties. Okay.
No, it's too much. It's too
If it's
much.
gone to penalties, Croatia's going to win. Period.
They should be good now.
Yeah, I mean,
Even if you didn't practice, they did now.
Just had one leg, he's able to save penalties from Russia.
Terry gave me some good stats. Harry Kane has scored 1 goal from open play in 573 World Cup minutes. An inadvertent deflection off his heel, and he's going to win the Golden Boot.
I know. It's
Leaving that, just going to leave
Yeah,
that
Just give it to own goal.
there. Yeah, OG was working.
I mean,
Only 3 teams lost 3 games at the 2018 World Cup: Panama, Egypt, and England. So that's another some different company you don't want to be in among the semifinalists. And England have lost consecutive matches for the first time since June 2014 when they were beaten by
Italy?
and Uruguay. There we go.
Welcome back,
who could,
I was looking up the Croatian
who could forget that one here? Italy?
I was looking up the Croatian stuff. Also, Terry, you just suddenly hate England? Those are all
She
stats
likes
against.
Thailand. She's
I mean, that's just that you got to read the room sometimes. You're just going full anti.
Joseph says it's confirmed France blue, Croatia red and white checkered. And Nickel Brown says shout out to the Outlaw. So still,
Oh,
even
thank you.
after the 90th minute whistle, he's still got your people
Thank
showing
you.
you love. So we're not going to read that one. Someone's asking about the '99 Champions League final. I don't want to publicize that sort of activity here. That's delinquent stuff here. We don't need to talk about that.
So on to the Williams Kroner match now.
Serena's actually down. She's losing it.
Oh, really?
Dropped the first set and losing in this.
Kerber.
Kerber's about to.
FIFA released details of kits. France will wear their all blue. Croatia will wear their home stripe with white socks. Okay.
Oh, because they had different colored socks.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
They can't wear red socks.
Also, are we calling that stripe?
France wears the red socks
Yeah,
with
the blue.
the stripe.
Stripes? It's not really stripes.
That's ambitious for
Yeah.
stripes.
What is it with all these pictures of players with all the holes in their socks? What is that?
I don't know.
Cheap
I've
socks.
seen
Have
that
you
too.
seen that?
No,
They-
there's a thing.
There was they
There's
just
a
showed,
thing?
there was a still of Danny Rose at halftime. They showed a still picture of him in his socks. There's all these holes in the socks. There was a player earlier too. Maybe it was just an England thing.
Yes, Raheem
They're
shot
too
holes in
tight?
it with his tattoo.
We'll do some research. We'll have some sock answers for you tomorrow morning when we're doing the final at what time is it, Terry? 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. Pacific
Pacific.
time.
It's a great cliffhanger.
11 Eastern.
I get to sleep in for an extra hour.
Yeah. Thanks
it's
for
sad,
thanks
too,
for joining me,
because
guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Adam,
for having
Gabi,
us.
It's been a lot of fun.
Fabio, John.
Yeah.
Anything you need to tell the people? Anything you're telling? When's the next? When can we see you on Spectrum next?
I'll be on Spectrum. We have a game on the 29th, and we got the big LAFC game coming up, which will be a lot of fun.
Who do you want to win? Joking.
I might go to that game.
Who,
You
yeah,
should,
who,
you
who-
should.
should I ask you guys? Who do you guys want to win?
Where is it?
It's at Bank California. our
Okay.
next game.
I love
The
it.
new
And
stadium.
then we have
The new stadium.
and
I
then
haven't been there,
on
so I gotta go.
August
Ooh.
23rd.
Yeah.
I hear it's great.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
I
You
like
don't have to say
Carson.
anything you don't
I
have
like
to.
the
Yeah,
Carson
but
Stadium
I
too.
mean, it's a good venue. But that game's going to be insane. It's going to be fun. It's
Yeah.
going to be all kinds.
Try not
of
to get into a fight.
emotions.
I'm going to try not to get
Me
into
too.
a fight.
I hope Ibra
Me
does.
too.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Ibra will get into it.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm
I
saying.
mean,
Yeah.
my favorite moment, like I did that Instagram questions thing, and somebody was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, what's your favorite moment of the season?" And it was when Ibra went up with Carlos Vela right before he scored his crazy goal. They combine, and Vela's like talking shit to him, and Ibra goes, "You
Yeah.
small,
Yeah.
small, me?" And he just like walks away. It's like, don't like talk to me. You're not even my universe.
No, my favorite is when he got stepped on and he just had to come
I
in the
mean,
back of the head.
yeah. I mean,
That's classic. Classic
that
Ibra.
guy totally knew what he was doing too. People were like, "Oh, he didn't know. And I was like, come on. If you
You know,
played,
you know.
you know what you're doing.
What was he did a couple of years ago in Serie A2 when someone was talking shit and he goes, turn around, let me see, what's your name?
Yeah.
What's your name on the back?
He did that thing where he started going like this, trying to figure out who it is.
Yeah. So only a matter of time, I think, before we see that
It'll-
in MLS.
The legacy of Kanta.
Seeing it already.
Guys, join us tomorrow. We'll be doing the final. We'll
Yeah.
be doing it live. We'll have 5 bodies crammed in here as well, so it should be nice and warm as it was today.
Yeah.
Subscribe, send us some comments, questions, all that good stuff. Follow everyone on social. Terry's putting up that graphic for you now. Already did. She's ahead of the game.
Come on, Croatia.
Come on, yeah. Or France.
I just want a good game, really. So
We just need a good showpiece for the sport, right? That's all we need.
Yeah.
We need some goals. We need some good play. So hopefully we'll get it. So join us tomorrow. Thanks again for being with us today. And remember, if you're watching this,
you are the convention.
there you go.